You need a check? Make one call, that's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrow.com. Now time for Calling All Sports. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome in. We say good afternoon to you. We are at Twin Peaks in Glendale. They already have a good crowd on hand. You can come out, hang with us for a while, and then we get you ready for Thursday night NFL football. We'll get into that game as the show goes on, but it is Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, always presented by Lerner and Rowe, voted best personal injury law firm year after year. One call, that's all, 602-977-1900. You ready, Manuch?
I'm
ready to go here for 3 hours.
Cleveland Browns, a dog pound should be alive and well. I'm sure they're getting fed about right now. They'll be good to go. The Steelers, boy, talk about a rivalry.
Yes.
You know, Pittsburgh going to Cleveland, Cleveland going to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I think back in those 70s, 80s, 90s, that rivalry hasn't changed.
No.
They just have a genuine dislike.
That's a nice way to say it.
Genuine
most people
dislike
would just say, I hate those guys.
Well, they'd have a few more things beyond that, but we're on Family Time Radio. So
we are.
So I'm just curious. I see a couple of Steeler fans
already here.
Yeah, Brownie fans. I'm sure will be trickling in here at the Twin Peaks in Glendale. So it should be a good game. My question for you is the Trubisky watch on for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
they're just jonesing big time for Kenny Pickett.
I was wondering about that. Mason Rudolph, who is the third-string guy, he could be on the trading block here anytime soon.
I would think so.
So it's going to be interesting to see how Trubisky, who I think is a solid quarterback.
Yeah,
he's not a franchise guy. Get things done. And then there's Jacoby Brissett, who is really, quite frankly, played pretty well, all things considered, for the Cleveland Browns.
I'm with you on that. I think that most Browns fans would have to be pleased with the way that he has taken the reins on that team until Deshaun Watson can be eligible to play again. So it'll be a lot of fun. We'll get into that game, but we got lots to get to right now.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, it's interesting because Manuch and I, when we were walking into Twin Peaks here, there was a poor soul outside selling roses just so he could get a meal.
Bless his heart.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And so Manuch and I both offered up some financial assistance to him.
Contributed to the cause.
We did, and I hope that that gentleman does well. But that brings me to this, because we opened up our wallets.
Yes.
So, Manuch, who's going to open up their wallets to buy the Phoenix Suns and the Mercury?
Well, the rumors have it there is a plethora of individuals. Put it this way, there's a plethora of billionaires that are interested or lining up, wherever you want to put it. Very good how you just kind of segued that whole thing. We hope that gentleman out there
I hope he does well.
Yeah, exactly right. So here's some of the individuals that are rumored to be. This guy named Jeff Bezos.
I think I know him.
Yeah, he'll rocket right over here.
Oh, my God.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God.
Or he'll shoot straight for the sun. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist.
I hope he doesn't crash land.
Oh, well, he may. You never know. You got Disney CEO Bob Iger.
Yeah.
Very good, Jim. Your Prevagen's kicking in there. Look
come
at
on
you.
now. Come on now.
Oracle co-founder and former CEO Larry Ellison.
Yes.
And Wizards minority owner and widow of the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, Lorraine Powell Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know she was a minority owner of the Wizards.
Yeah.
Was not aware of that. So I like the group. I like the group of billionaires that are there. That the number is interesting. I had a couple guys reach out on Twitter when we talked about, their latest value was like $1.4 billion. This thing could get bet up to $2 to $2.5 billion. A couple guys out there say, hey, Manuch, it'll be like $3 to $4 billion.
No.
Hey, for Robert Sarver and those minority owners, that'd be great. I don't think that's a number that's realistic. But I think that if it gets into a bidding scenario, you may have a guy like a Bezos or Iger come in and give the Godfather offer. Say, look, $4.2 billion cash, We're good to go. Where can I sign? Where can I sign?
Here, I got this in my wallet right now.
And you minority owners, I'm going to buy all of you out.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm going to give you a chance to come back in as I may sell shares back off to you.
I see what you're saying.
So make that a win-win situation for the minority owners. I don't know if Najafi is going to be a individual to look to buy this team. Now, I know that he has been looking to. Najafi's been a developer here in Phoenix for many, many years.
Right.
He's a billionaire.
Yep.
He's familiar with everybody. Maybe he goes to the minority partners and says, hey, look, let's put our bid in. Let's put our 2.5, whatever.
Right.
And this could turn into one of those sealed bid kind of things. Okay, we'll give everybody.
You mean like a silent auction? Is that what you're talking about here?
Kind of, sort of. I mean, I think that the sense of Robert Sarver, the mechanics for a lot of valuable property or valuable buildings or valuable businesses.
Sure.
If you get a broker involved, they'll allow the 4 or 5 qualified buyers, keyword they're qualified, to do their due diligence.
Okay.
Look at the team, look at the real estate, look at the books, look at the contracts, bring your capologist in. So maybe they say, okay, you 3 or 4 are qualified. We'll give you a 90-day review period. In the meantime, we'd like maybe, let's say, $2 million down as an earnest deposit.
Okay.
Take a look at it. And then by, let's say, December 15th, we'll look for bids from each one of you, sealed bid, and then supply them to whomever, the broker, and then break them all down, go through them with Robert Sarver and whoever else he wants to be in that room with him, and then look at it and go to the best bid. Now, the best bid, guys, may not go to the most rich offer. It might go to the one that Robert Sarver like to hand off to that is committed, and I think for the Suns fan, committed to winning an NBA championship. So it may not be the wealthiest individual. It may be for the most qualified individual that's been either down this road, like a Disney, Bezos, all those people that know how to run a business and market and go down that particular road. Or he might just say, okay, $4 billion. I'm taking the biggest, game, set, match, and then go back to the minority partners at that time.
I'm really curious how long this is going to play out. Do you have any idea or an estimation? Is it 3 months, 6 months, a year?
Well, I just kind of gave you a due diligence period. Let's say 3 months.
3 months.
Okay. I would think, I don't know, maybe for tax purposes, Sarver may want to sell it before the end of the year.
Good.
Or after the new year.
Okay.
Depending on his tax purposes. I mean, at that point, you make $4 billion. Let's say $3 billion.
Yes.
You pay 50% to Uncle Sam, call it a day, right?
Right off the top.
Yeah, whatever that is. So, I don't know. That's one of those tax questions, I think, for Robert Sarver. I think for a lot of Suns fans, the sooner the better. And by the way, man, I'm on Twitter and a couple other sites, Instagram, Twitter. People are loving this move. They are hysterical. They are hallelujah. They are amen.
They're hysterical.
That, ding dong, the Wicco Witch. The Wicco Witch is moving on.
Yeah.
And from that, and I thought I was the only one that was so passionate about his woe is me and unforgiveness, and our society is different. Man, there was a lot of people that came down hard on Robert Sarver for him to even think, even hint that he was being a victim and not being forgiven in this whole thing.
Manuch, when I brought that up yesterday on the show, that bothered me more than anything. And it
did social media big time too.
Yeah,
so we weren't the only ones.
Should have, right. And it should have, how he desperately tried to reverse it around. And it's just a terrible look. But that's who he is. He just showed himself. That's who he is.
Jimmy, I think you nailed it right there. I was just going to say you could go out with class, or you could go out with knowing, okay, that's Robert Sarver, and he'll never change.
Yes.
And if you're a guy that's looking to change, like you said, that would have been a perfect opportunity.
Correct.
To say, hey, look, whether you forgive me or not, I can't control that. I'm sorry. I'm being contrite here. It's time to move on. And this is the best thing for you Suns fans. I want to do what's best for the organization and what's best for you Suns fans. I always call it take the high road, right?
Yeah.
Take the high road and don't go out going, oh, by the way, I guess I got to sell since you won't forgive me or this is on me. No. And again, to your point, Jimmy, he showed his true colors.
He did.
Once again.
Yeah, I was very, very disappointed.
Who would you like to see buy this bad boy?
Me. But
I got that kind of cash.
I got to put
that, man.
What
are you doing here?
I got to put a consortium together to figure that out. But I'd love to own a team. There'd be no two ways about that.
I would hope that the new owner obviously is look at the front office, look at the general manager,
Sure.
They look at the coach. This is a Ferrari. This is a turnkey scenario where you're going to get the keys to a Ferrari, and I think if you feel that you want to fine tune it here, tune it there, you have that right. You really do. But you're getting in this bad boy, and my hope would be luxury tax my ass. Just go ahead and go ahead, forget that luxury tax. Go get some guys.
Yeah.
Go get some dudes. Pay that luxury tax if you have to. Hell, Bezos pays more in taxes than many of the countries that are out there.
Yeah, you would think
so. I just hope that he leaves staff in place, leaves organization in place. If there needs to be some people that need to be fired or reorganized, whatever it is,
right,
that he do that. And I think that's part of that due diligence that whoever buys his team is going to have to do, Jimmy. And that's why they may need 2 to 3 months just to make sure they got a good lay of the land before they put their offer.
I'm with you on that 100%. I would just like to see it move at a reasonable pace, and so that the fans understand that, yes, this sale is actually going to take place. And if my fear is that if it drags on for a while, Manuch,
you think second thoughts?
Second thoughts, yes.
Oh, I hope not, Jimmy.
I'm with you.
Hope not.
I'm with you on that.
I think that he's convinced to sell. He has no choice to sell.
He's embarrassed enough.
He's embarrassed the organization. He's embarrassed the city. He's embarrassed himself.
And the
NBA. That it's just time to move on. And if all of a sudden he had second thoughts, oh, my God. Could you imagine the PR backlash?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you'd have sponsors exit left and right.
You would think so.
Not buy season tickets. And then on top of that, the team.
Yeah.
The guys on the team going, how the hell can I play for a guy
like that?
That speaks out of both sides of his mouth. Now he's saying, no, not going to do it. The hell with y'all.
Yeah.
Well, there's that attitude again that I think a lot of guys don't want to play for and work for.
I'm with you on that 100%. Hey, everybody, you need a new patio grill set for your backyard? Well, your chance to win one is right now. Because we're at Twin Peaks today, all you have to do is just text Peaks to 55678. That's Peaks to 55678. You'll be entered to win a customized backyard grill patio set. It's all courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light, and you can enter once a day. Standard message data rates do indeed apply. Well, the Rams and their high-octane offense and tough defense are going to be in the Valley of the Sun this weekend. How can the Cardinals have success against the world champs? We'll break it all down for you. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Fox Sports 910 live here at Twin Peaks in Glendale.
Tomorrow on the Drive, having saved the
on the jump ball, intercepted! Jalen Ramsey with the pick! And the 5-time Pro Bowler steers it to All right, courtesy of the L.A. Rams network. That was, of course, Jalen Ramsey. He had a great interception in the end zone, and that did indeed seal the victory for the Rams last weekend against Atlanta.
Yeah, they were trying to come back, and so much for the chatter that Jalen Ramsey's getting old.
Yeah.
And he's not covering anybody, and he's not doing what he needs to be doing. I think that the Rams, like a lot of teams in the National Football League, are going to need a couple, 2, 3, maybe 4 games to get right or figure out who they are. By no means is this L.A. Rams team done, Jimmy, whatsoever.
I'm with you on that 100%, which brings us to our State 48 Roofing It's Your Call question of the day. For a free quote, repair, or installation, just go to state48roofing.com. Follow them on social media by searching hashtag sexy roof status. And here's the question. What Cardinals defensive player will have the biggest impact for the defense against the Los Angeles Rams this coming Sunday? 1, Budda Baker. 2, Jalen Thompson. 3, J.J. Watt. Or 4, Isaiah Simmons. That's the question. Just go to Roc and Manuch Twitter and cast your ballot. And we have a lot to discuss as far as this is concerned.
Go ahead. And the key there, Jimmy, it's not so much what Cardinals defensive player must have the biggest impact, will have the biggest impact for the defense against the Rams.
Right.
And you look at Budda, Jalen, and JJ and Isaiah. I think obviously a lot of us know that Isaiah, to get out of the doghouse to get more playing time, must. He's one of those guys that must, but it's the guy that pretty much will. So as you mentioned, just go to @Roc and Manuch @Roc and Manuch on Twitter.
Yep, that's all you have to do. All right. So the Rams offense seemed to get going last Sunday, and it was because you have a quarterback who's not afraid to throw the ball, and he's not afraid to get picked.
Fearless.
He is fearless. He's
fearless.
Yes.
He's fearless to a fault. And Action Jackson Groff, our fine intern/rookie here, receiver slot guy there at Montana.
Yeah.
Jackson, you love a quarterback like that. But I got to tell you what, guys, I still see Stafford make throws. I'm like, you should know better. But you know what, guys? That's just who he is.
He is.
And he's going to target. How'd you like this, Jackson? He's going to target, Cooper Kupp, I don't know, 35 times.
Oh, my God.
And maybe he'll catch 20. But, I mean, that is the one thing I look at. If you're going to stop this Rams offense, like they did over in L.A. last year, right after the Tampa Bay victory, huge victory, Game 4, you got to put pressure on the guy. You got to get him to move. As Chuck Knox used to say, our head coach in Buffalo, you got to bloody his nose.
Yep.
You got to get in his grill. Get inside him and cause him to be uncomfortable in that pocket.
Yeah, I think it's great what Matt Stafford's doing, obviously giving the ball to Cooper Kupp, a lot of targets. But I think when you play teams like the Bills, as we saw week 1, those 3 interceptions, the Bills responded with 3 touchdowns.
That's the key right there.
So, I mean, if you can get away with it against a Falcons team, 2 interceptions, they don't have a really good offense with Mariota. But you get into the season when you play the Bills, you play the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, maybe even the Cardinals with their high-powered offense, it could kick you in the leg.
Yeah, get into a shootout.
All right, here's what I remember from our conversation yesterday with J.B. Long, the voice of the Los Angeles Rams, and he said, people don't realize Cooper Kupp's a bigger guy than what you think.
Yeah.
He is big, strong, and tough, and he makes you miss. Manuch, he says, basically Cooper Kupp one-on-one is uncoverable.
Well,
you can't cover the guy.
Hey, guys, look at the Super Bowl last year. They had him bracketed.
They did.
Inside, outside. I don't know, that last drive, the game when we had like 25 catches.
It felt like
on that last drive.
Felt like
I mean, Matthew Stafford went to him at will. If it's zone, he hooks it up. If it's man-to-man, he runs away from you.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other thing, too, and JB did mention this, he can separate on man-to-man coverage. He's about 6'1", 6'2", about $195.
But he's put together.
He's put together. He's strong. He lifts. He stretches. He works hard. And he works hard at his craft. But the other thing that, for a lot of fans, the receivers know the defenses as well as the quarterbacks. And the quarterbacks, receivers have to be on the same page as far as adjustments are concerned. So you're in Montana. You got your boy Cam out there, quarterback. What's Cam's last name? Humphrey?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out. That chance to train him, work with him, get him straightened out for crying out loud. I said, you got to give Jax the ball more, man.
Quarterback
get out
whisperer.
there. Yeah. But I think that's not easy to do, guys.
No.
And when you watch that Rams team last year, all the receivers they had, everybody was on the same page with Matthew Stafford. But if there's one common denominator, I don't know how you stop Cooper Kupp besides blunting him in the nose and just pound him when he catches the ball.
I think a huge factor of Cooper's Kupp's success. I'm not discrediting what he does on the field, but the way Sean McVay puts him outside in the slot in the backfield,
moves him around
Motion.
so much that you can't have one corner guarding him the whole time because he's in the slot. You need him to guard Allen Robinson. You need him to guard Van Jefferson. You need him. So Isaiah Simmons might get caught with Cooper Kupp on the inside.
No. Don't even say that, Jax.
What a mismatch that is.
No, that's not going to happen. Okay,
maybe Jalen Thompson or maybe Buda Baker would be.
Yeah, you're going to have to. If you're going to go man, you got to have Buda. You got to have Jalen, one of the other corners, and then I think with Marco Wilson on the outside, they're going to try to exploit him. But right now you do miss Odell, and Odell is a man without an island now. He's still not healthy. He hasn't signed with anybody. You're going to miss Woods. You have missed Woods. But I think with their tight end play and Cooper Kupp, Sean McVay is wise enough to utilize the whole field. Now, the one thing they can't do, which I feel you can put pressure on him, is they haven't stretched the field yet. So they missed that with an Odell Beckham or some of their home run hitters. They just miss stretching the field, getting the ball down the field. And the other question mark is, too, his arm looks fine to me.
Yes, it does.
We don't know. He might be on a pitch count during the week. Wrap it up. If his arm is completely healthy, I've seen that he can drill it. He can throw it in there. But the only thing I see is he used to cut it in there and take that chance. How is his velocity throwing the ball? So we'll get a chance. I watched him in that Buffalo Bills game a little bit.
Right.
He looked fine to me. They just couldn't stretch a football.
Well, I watched him against Atlanta some, and because I have the ticket, so I could bounce around. That's what I do. I bounce around to all the different games, and he looked just fine when he would. And the touch pass that he threw over the defender's head and over Cooper Kupp's head, who reached up and caught it in two hands in the back corner of the end zone, was a fabulous throw.
Well, you forget he's not only a hell of a thrower, he's a hell of a passer.
Yes, he is.
So he can pass.
Yes.
He can throw. And I just think that the Cardinals have got to get him off platform, pressure him up the middle, get him to the outside. He can still run a little bit. But I think if this Cardinals defense can come at you from different angles with stunts and loops, the only thing I would caution, and I think Vance Joseph knows this, if you're going to go man-to-man,
right,
you better have some protection over the top. I like to see a man free. Somebody over the top that can cover. Because if any of these guys, even your tight end play, get into a man-to-man situation, that's when the Cardinals defense becomes very vulnerable.
All right, let me drop this one on you. In my personal opinion, the Cardinals cannot have a similar game like they had against the Raiders against the Rams. In other words, they can't be down 20 and then expect Kyler Murray to be magical again.
Those are few and far between.
They
guys.
are.
And, every once in a while you catch lightning in a bottle,
yep,
which they did. I will say this, though. The Raiders contributed to that. They got really conservative in the second half.
Agreed.
They weren't given the pass protection. They did the dink and duck offense, which is part of Josh McDaniels' offense. Derek Carr missed a few throws. So they weren't as sharp, or I should say intense, in the second half. And the Raiders got to clear that up. So the Cardinals, very, very lucky. I'll put it out there, very lucky to get away with one. And then the fumble, basically the scoop and score, or the scoop six by Meyer Murphy, that's a gift. Now, you're going to get a few of those. If you play hard, you're going to get and you take advantage of it.
Right, and they did.
And you can't rely on that. So this defense has got to constantly get after one Matthew Stafford, and you better stop the run, because you know what happened in that first half, you better have a cure for stopping the run. And I think that's where J.J. Watt is going to be that improvement up front, those front seven, to help with that run defense.
It'll be interesting to see if they bring on Trayvon Mullen. We haven't heard much of him yet. He was the former first rounder, played for the Raiders. I wonder if they bring him in as that nickel guy. We saw some of that last year when they brought maybe Murph as the nickel.
We'll catch up with Howard Balzer of PHNX at 3:30 and get an update on the injury report. A lot of guys rested yesterday. There's a few guys that are dinged. I'm just wondering when the hell is Rondale Moore going to get on the field?
I'm just going to ask you that, and that's going to be a question we're going to ask of Howard.
Jax, you ever get the strained hammy or pull hamstring or, something of this nature?
Thank God. By the grace of God, I haven't. No.
Wow.
I only had an AC joint and a dislocated pinky.
Well, he runs like a 4.2. Would you run like a 4.8, 4.9?
Yeah, 4.8.
You were
not fast. No, not fast at all.
he was that possession guy.
He was Howard Twitty is what he was.
But I think he brings up Jackson brings up a great point in reference to having Cooper Kupp off the ball.
Yes.
He's slot or he's in motion, so you can't check him.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to look to catch him in coverage or have somebody behind you. So I think the pressure on Matthew Stafford, like they did last year,
right,
it will be part of the recipe for this Cardinals team to beat the Rams this weekend.
Hey, everybody, you want to get away? And I'm talking away. How about Hawaii? That's right. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. We're giving you that opportunity. Just sign up to play Twin Peaks Annual Football Picks Contest at fanpick'em.com. It's all courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. All you have to do is head to fanpick'em.com, get in your weekly picks, and you have an opportunity to win a trip to Hawaii or $5,000 in cash. That's fanpick'em.com. All right, when we come back, we're going to run around the National Football League, see who's pretending and who is contending. Mike Yam of the NFL Network is going to be our guest. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Hung over by Lohr. Blocked by Armstead. 2 into the end zone. Caught for the touchdown!
You're live.
Caught for the touchdown! Waddle! Miami is taking the lead! It's a rookie armor.
That was absolutely sensational, the way that Miami came back in that, courtesy of CBS, and the Dolphins pull up the upset coming from way down,
way back,
to win at Baltimore. So, Manuch, that sets up our guest, and this is going to be a lot of fun here. Mike Yam of the NFL Network. He anchors there. He's also, and you got to help me out here, Manuch.
Okay, let me try.
Author of the book Fried Rice and Marinara.
Yeah, Mike Yam, welcome to Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B. How we doing, my brother? How are you? How are you?
Doing great. I appreciate you guys mentioning that.
Okay.
Yeah, no, man, it's been a crazy little bit of a run here. NFL side, personally, so always thrilled to be with you.
Okay.
I appreciate the invite.
You've got a fine Italian right here.
Oh,
Anytime
man,
I see
here we go.
marinara involved
Here we go.
and I see fried rice, that's a very odd combination. So I don't know, Mike Yam, if you're half Japanese or half Italian and you wanted to cover both spectrums to happy with the family. I know it's a kid's book. Describe fried rice and marinara, because I'm hungry right now, but that's not a phenomenal combination for us Italians, okay? I'm just being honest with you here.
I'm with you. Look at my mom. I don't know if she would agree with your assessment. She is definitely Italian.
Okay.
We actually didn't make that back in the day, but I'm half Chinese, half Italian. And,
Okay.
Books is a platform. They do children's stories. They fully animate and do full narration with read-along text. So a lot of the psychologists will tell you that it really does fast-track reading for a lot of young children. I actually struggled when I was a kid reading, so I wish I had a platform like this. But essentially the story is about a young boy named Mike that got the biggest dilemma ever, and that's, what do you have for your birthday in terms of food? He's half Chinese, half Italian. His name is Mike. Do you know where this is going?
Yes, yeah, we know.
He realizes that he could combine them and have this crazy, unique party, and that's kind of the crux of the story.
Okay,
that's great.
Well, I guess I could try that fried rice. I'll throw it at my wife tonight and see what she has to say. I love them both. Don't get me wrong.
I do too.
All right, Mike. So we started off with you here, 2-out, game-winning touchdown. We kind of led this off with who are the contenders, who are the pretenders in the National Football League, and when you anchor the roundtable there. I know it's kind of early, but there's a few surprises because this Dolphins team gets the huge litmus test of getting the privilege to take on the Buffalo Bills this weekend.
You're right. What's sort of interesting to me about this matchup, we always talk about speed, right?
Mm-hmm.
How difficult it is to defend. We saw Mike McDaniel when he was at San Francisco as their offensive coordinator do some really unique things. And I think what's fascinating about this is we know how fast Tyreek is, fastest wide receiver in the NFL. Second fastest is Waddle, right? When it comes to the running backs, Raheem Mostert, fastest running back that's in the NFL. There's all this speed, and I think the matchup is sort of difficult here. Now, if you're asking me, is Buffalo the better team or is Miami the better team? I'm going to tell you it's the Bills. That doesn't necessarily mean Buffalo's going to win this week. Coming off of a short week, questions in that secondary right now in terms of health. I actually think this is a tough matchup from a Buffalo perspective. Now, you can also make an argument that there were some issues defensively and some massive breakdowns on a couple of those explosive plays for Tua and that Miami offense against Baltimore last week. Now, still give him credit. You throw 6 touchdowns. It's not all about busted coverages, right?
Sure.
And you throw out 42 points and you have that type of comeback. This has got the potential, though, for a lot of fireworks. I don't know if I'd pick Buffalo. I don't on the road too. It does feel like, hey, at the end of the season, I still think the Bills are the team to beat. But I think in this week, this is not the easiest matchup, I think, for Josh Allen and this team.
Mike Yam, NFL Network anchor, joining us here on the Right to the Guest line. Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, and author of the book Fried Rice and Marinara.
Yes.
You remember we watched the Rams last year, and they get Matthew Stafford, and they got the whole gang. They just came out like gangbusters, man. And then I think they let their guard down against the Cardinals after beating Tampa Bay. And Mike, I look at the Bills, and I kind of see the same kind of energy or chip on the shoulder or boulder on the shoulder that they've got it, and that's how they're kind of coming out, like similar to what the Rams did last year, maybe?
I think there's something to that. Now, I think what's sort of unique about the Buffalo situation is, and I'm at fault of doing this, and before the year started, I was like, hey, I think Buffalo might be the team to beat. And I know a lot of people have sort of penciled them into that Super Bowl spot. And I think Bills Mafia loves it and probably hates it at the same time because they're thinking, look, can we just get over the top? Can we win a conference championship game? Can we get to the Super Bowl before everyone starts saying we're the team to beat? And I do think there's something there. But at the same time, I think when you make the comparison like you just did with the Rams, what's fascinating to me is that Von Miller situation. Right? If you talk to people around that team that know Aaron Donald well, that are in the weeds, they'll tell you that Von Miller was able to help Aaron Donald find another gear. And it's not just about another gear on the football field, because once again, it was another dominant season. He's done everything that you could possibly want to do as a defensive player. He's one of the all-time greats. But I think bringing him out of his shell, helping from a leadership perspective, and help a team that hadn't won before. Like, Von Miller right now could be a guy that's won, 3 Super Bowls on 3 different teams. And I think for this Bills team, having that type of leadership and knowing what it takes to win, it's one of those intangibles, right? Like, you think you might know, and I think until you actually go and you play these games and understand what does it really truly take to be a champion, Von knows that. And I think he can impart some of that wisdom and help some of these guys that haven't experienced it. Some of these younger players who just know that they're really good, they're really talented, and can rack up wins in the regular season. But what it really takes to get over the top, and when you can turn and look to a leader that's been there, I think it's a really valuable thing inside that Bills locker room that the Rams had a season ago.
Mike Hamm is our guest, NFL Network. We're talking contenders and pretenders. All right, in the NFC, right now, if you had to stake a claim, would it be on the Philadelphia Eagles with what you've seen from 2 games that they have played?
I don't know if I'd go that far. They've been maybe on the short list of the more impressive teams that are out there. I think what's tough is we're still knocking on the door, right? There's 6 teams that are undefeated right now. And oddly enough, and I can't believe I'm going to say this, and I should enjoy it while I can because I'm actually a Giants fan.
Okay.
They're also in that division.
Yes, they are.
They're also 2-0.
Yeah.
Now, do I think the Eagles are a more talented team and it's got the potential to really make a deep run? There's no doubt. I think Harry Roseman, his ability to pull the trigger, make some moves, not be afraid to make some trades, to tweak, give up capital. Jalen Hurts, what was the biggest question coming into the season around Philly? Jalen Hurts be the guy that puts them over the top. Can he play adequately enough? Well, it turns out he's pretty good. And it turns out that, having A.J. Brown in that lineup really does help that offense in a tremendous way. They're a scary team. How about I throw one your way?
Okay.
I think the Niners right now, with Jimmy as their team starting quarterback the rest of the season, I think that actually puts the rest of the NFC on notice a little bit. Like, I think they go from a team that you feel good about and could have won maybe with Trey Lance to a team that I go, yeah, you know what? Like, I think they can get back to an NFC championship game. And all it takes, and you guys know this, can you get to that point? Because if you do, then all bets are off. Then you win that game, you're in the Super Bowl, and you got just as good an opportunity as anyone else to go and win a championship. The Niners are right there, and that roster is ready to win. So I actually think they're a scary team.
Mike, I agree with you. And don't you know, I think that team feels a lot better. Not that they nothing against Trey Lance, but when you saw Jimmy G score that 1-yard touchdown, he was mobbed by the guys. Thank you. It was like, thank you for coming back. We love you, Jimmy. To your point, Mike, I think they really feel that now. Now, there might have been some trepidation with Trey, and you never know. But I think you bring up a good point that they are, I think, more relevant than ever in that NFC West. Hey, before we let you get going, matter of fact, we're getting ready out here at Twin Peaks to show this Cleveland-Pittsburgh game. Matter of fact, NFL Network, we're watching a replay from the Jets game last week. When you watch, I'm going to call it the Kenny Pickett watch, or is it the Mike Trubisky watch? Which one's it going to be? Mitch Trubisky. Which one do you think it is?
I think Trubisky's still the answer for this team. I don't think it's Kenny just
3 minutes.
Like, I watched that offense. I think there's bigger issues than just quarterback play at hand. But the one thing I'll throw your way, watching in the preseason, I don't think there was a dramatic difference between those dudes, but it did feel like the offense had a little bit more to it, a little more confidence. You guys know this. Sometimes you break that huddle and you get that clap going, and it's that one guy that it just feels different inside that huddle. It feels different watching that team. I think Kenny's going to get the keys to the car. I think it's going to be this season. I don't think it's quite that time yet. I also just can't wait to see J.J. Watt back on the football field and healthy, because I think that's another piece to this team on the defensive side that's really important. And Minka Fitzpatrick, by the way,
right,
he might be the best defensive player in the league, not named Aaron Donald. So, there's still some pieces in place for Mike Tomlin to make sure that the team can potentially still make a run. But Kenny's going to be the guy, I think, by season's end.
He's Mike Yam, NFL Network anchor and author of the book Fried Rice and Marinara. Okay, I'm going to give you a pass. You're not going to lose your Italian card since you're half and half over there. So, I'll try that maybe one of these days just to kind of check it out. But hey, great to see you on the NFL Network. Always a pleasure to have you on, Mike. And tell Mom, hey, Mom, Manuch says, hey, Kizadich, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. How you doing? Throw that at her, see what you come back with. Thank you.
Brother, you got that little New Yorker kind of thing going there on the back end.
That's us.
We're from the Bronx, man.
Wow.
2 minutes.
I was born in the Bronx. I lived in Little Italy.
Sure.
Fordham, so I used to live on Arthur Avenue. So that was still my backyard, man, and certainly miss some of the Italian food over there.
Wow.
I just got to ask, are you driving a big old black limo to and from the NFL Network? Or they drive? They
drive Mike. Come on.
No, man, I am not above the line, man. I am not. I don't have. I'm not. If I ever get to the point of Rich Eisen status, then maybe I'll ask for the black car. But nothing wrong with driving myself when I can and sitting in LA traffic.
Mike, always
I'm podcasting phone calls.
Always a pleasure. You can tweet him at Mike_Yam, at Mike_Yam. Mike, thanks. We appreciate it, buddy. We'll catch up with you soon.
You guys are the best. Thanks again.
Thank you, Mike. Great information. Good stuff. Mike Yam, driven by All City Towing. All City Towing continuing to grow, and they are hiring. They've got a great salary structure, terrific benefits, including a 401k program, and it has a generous company match, and it's really easy to apply. Just go online, allcitytowing.com/careers. Again, that's allcitytowing.com/careers. All City Towing, Arizona's largest towing, transport, and vehicle provider. It's allcitytowing.com. All right, buckle up. Brunch is now being served here at the local lodge. Wake up with the scratch favorites that you love and classic brunch drinks that won't break the bank. Just contact your favorite lodge for availability and more details. That's brunch at Twin Peaks with 4 Valley locations. All right, coming up, it was on this day that one of the greatest pitchers of all time had to call it a career, and another strike happened in the NFL. That's all on the way. Next, as the 72 sold on this day report is coming up from Twin Peaks in Glendale, Fox Sports 910.
England New York Jets Monday night game. That strike would last 24 days. I was a member of the Bills. I crossed the picket line.
Right.
The backup quarterback to me on that team was, I just mentioned him, Willie Totten.
Oh my
Willie Totten. See the correlation right there, Jimmy?
Wait a minute, so you were a scab?
I was a replacement player. Yes, I was. Replacement player. And Willie and I, and Matt Miller was the other quarterback.
Wow.
Yeah, Matt Miller was the other quarterback. That 1987, we played 3 games. We got hammered by the Colts, who had just about everybody and their mother cross the picket line.
Yeah.
Second game against the Patriots up there in New England. They beat us. And then we win. We win the final game against the New York Giants, who had a lot of guys cross the picket line, especially one guy by the name of Lawrence Taylor.
Oh, I remember him.
You remember Lawrence Taylor?
Uh-huh.
We beat him in overtime.
Wow.
You're sitting down?
Did he sack you?
No, he yelled at me. Yeah, he did. I got up underneath center.
Yeah.
And as you guys remember, Lawrence Taylor used to go up and down the line
He
and
did.
come wherever he wanted.
Yes.
Guys, he used words and called me stuff I'd never heard before. I didn't know there were such things as the things he was yelling at me.
No, real education.
And when I tell a lot of quarterbacks ignore the noise,
Yes.
it was hard to go 4-3 set, 295, 295. What did he just call me? In my mind, I'm going, he said what? Thank God he never blitzed between the A gaps.
That's
and
great. That's
I called Max Protect.
Yeah.
On the 5 or 6 plays that I was in. It's 3rd and 5. And man, he's Manucci, you freaking
careful.
And then there was one thing he threw out I had to look up. It's not even
You had
a
to
word.
look it up. Well, of course not. It was Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, so 3 weeks later. So we win our final replacement game 6-3 in overtime.
Wow.
Mind you, from that particular standpoint.
Manuch.
Wow. In 1993, kind of a sad day, end of an era. Pitcher Nolan Ryan of the Rangers faces just 3 Seattle batters before hurting his right elbow, what turns out to be the last appearance of his career. Ryan finishes with 324 wins, 5,714 strikeouts, and count them, 7 no-hitters. We will never see another pitcher like Nolan Ryan.
I agree with you 100%, and his strikeout record and no-hitters most likely will never be broken,
ever.
Particularly the strikeouts, because they only let pitchers throw 5 or 6 innings now. That's
exactly right. Back in 2007, I didn't have these numbers for an entire season. Graham Harrell of Texas Tech
That's funny.
completes 46 of 67 passes for 646 yards, the 4th best total in major college history, in a 49-45 loss to Oklahoma State. So 07, I'm trying to think who the quarterback would have been for Okie State, but 49-45. Guys, I don't think I had that many yards of completions my junior year at Kansas State University.
Look at even the ladies are laughing at you.
Yeah, oh my God. All right, and then and you'll love this one. 2015, we lost a great one. Hall of Fame catcher Yogi Berra, winner of 3 MVP awards, and also holds the all-time record by playing in 14 World Series. He passes away at the age of 90. He is just as famous for his yogiisms, if you will. And one of them is appropriate for this occasion, as he says, quote, "You should always go to other people's funerals. Otherwise, they won't come to yours."
Absolutely. Never over till it's over.
Hey, today's On This Day report is powered every day by 72 Sold, America's leading home selling program. There's no better way to sell your home than 72 Sold, the official real estate partner of the Arizona Cardinals. For easiest, fastest, most profitable way to sell your home is at 72sold.com. That's 72sold.com. Get our price, a higher price, at 72sold.com. And here's our Valley Chevy dealers random fact of the day. Pay attention to both you guys over here.
Gotcha.
The Supreme Court has its own private basketball court with an amazing nickname. You ready for this, gentlemen?
Okay.
There's a basketball court on the top floor of the USC Supreme Court building.
Okay.
Its nickname, you ready?
Yeah.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
You guessed it, the highest court in the land.
Oh, it makes sense.
Yeah. You like that one, Jimmy?
No, it's okay.
Yeah, okay. Here's another one. I think this is funny. So apropos, with the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay.
A lifetime Cleveland Browns fan and season ticket holder requested in his obituary. This is a true story, folks.
Yes, it is.
Requested in his obituary for 6 Cleveland Browns pallbearers at his funeral. Why, you ask? So the Browns can let him down one last time.
Now, that's good. That was awesome. When I first saw that several years back, when the poor guy died, I mean, everybody loved what he did when he asked for that, and he did. That was written down so the Browns could let him down one last time.
You know, even in death, the guy has a great sense of humor. That is a random fact of the day brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers. Your Valley Chevy dealers serving the Valley for over 80 years. All you have to do is go to valleychevy.com. It's valleychevy.com.
All right. Now, look, we are here at Twin Peaks in Glendale. We're going to be here until 4 o'clock tonight, and then we'll get you ready for the big NFL game. It's only on Prime Video, but they've got it right here at Twin Peaks. And we also are offering up a custom backyard patio grill. Your chance to win one. All you have to do, just text Peaks. 55678. That's Peaks to 55678. You'll be entered to win the customized backyard patio set. It's all courtesy of Twin Peaks, Blue Moon, and Coors Light. Once again, Peaks 55678. All right, coming up in the second hour. How is the NBA and its players reacting to Robert Sarver's decision to sell the team? And U of A, are they starting to become a competitive foe in the Pac-12? That's all coming up in just a little bit. Manuch, I think that they have at least turned the corner a little bit.
You would hope so. They got a good travel to Cal, and Cal was an opponent that probably should have won last week. And when you stop and think about that, the litmus tests for Jed Fish and his program down there in the old Pueblo. And, a lot of very favorable responses from a lot of NBA players. And who could be, as they say in Texas,
I know you always
the new owner.
Yes.
Who's it going to be for the Phoenix Suns?
Wish it was me. Jimmy B.
20.
Rock, not here. Manuch is, and Jax is here as well. Rock will be back on Monday, and then we'll have some fun. It is live from Glendale. We are here at Twin Peaks. Jimmy B, Manuch, Jax, Rock, Fox Sports 910.
Calling all sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Proudly sponsored
Get
by
the LSU
On-Air
thing here, too.
Sports
Yeah.
Marketing. And is powered by the injury attorneys Lerner and Rowe. In Iraq and need a check? Make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. On Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. We roll all the way till 4 o'clock. We're hanging out and having a great time here in Glendale at the Twin Peaks, and they are getting everything ready for the big NFL game tonight. It is the Steelers and the Browns, and it's on Prime Video. So if you think, unless you have Prime Video, if you don't, well, you can just go to a Twin Peaks because they're going to have it here tonight. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I tell you what, we're fortunate at the house. We got the Prime Video. But yeah, this is a great place. Starting to get a little crowded already.
Oh yeah,
see a couple Steelers fans filtering in, and Browns fans over here, Steelers fans over there. Forget any kind of commingling whatsoever.
No, they don't do that.
This rivalry in the dog pound there in Cleveland, Pittsburgh Steelers. They'll be getting after it tonight. I'm just curious. I think the Browns are better than people are giving them credit for. I think they have a very, I'd say, soothing and confident quarterback, and Jacoby Brissett, very serviceable.
Despite the fact that the Jets came back and beat them,
it wasn't him
in Cleveland.
It was his defense.
Well,
I'm talking about Jacoby Brissett.
I know that.
Let me stick with one thing at a time. Hang with me here. Just hang with me here.
Please.
Jacoby Brissett. He's one of those guys that I think is very stable, serviceable. They'll pound the ball with Nick Chubb right, Nick Chubb left.
Yes.
Defense, there might be a couple
I was just going to say.
There might be some cellophane paper out there here and there that people break through. So it'll be a good game. And can Mitch, or is it Mitchell Trubisky?
Yes.
Can
he's back to Mitch.
Yeah. Is he back to Mitch?
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
Can he put his mark or his stamp on the Steelers?
That's going to be something that's going to play out, and we'll get a chance to watch it tonight. Let's get to our big stories right now.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, Manuch and I are just kind of curious if we pooled what was in our wallets today, if we had enough to get a down payment on the Phoenix Suns. We tried that, and Robert Sarver said, don't bring that soft stuff here.
We don't have enough money to make the damn phone call.
No,
what are you talking about?
We don't.
We pull all of our resources, assets, all the above.
That's it.
It'd be a millionth of what the going price could be. And, when you're talking about Jeff Bezos and former Disney CEO Bob Iger,
right?
Oracle co-founder and former CEO Larry Ellison, and Wizards minority owner and widow of the late Apple co-founder Steve Jobs, Lorraine Powell Jobs. It's interesting how they're all former. So they're looking to spend their money in their quasi-retirement, I would think, and they've got enough money. Money's not going to be the issue for these individuals.
No.
I think I would hope Robert Sarver really, not that these guys can't cut the deal, is vet them to see if they have the right guy to take to buy this team. Now, if Bezos steps up, or Iger steps up with all of his Disney partners and says, hey, look, we'll pay you a $3.5 bill. We'll cut a check. We'll wire a check tomorrow. By the way, if you were to wire, how do you make that transfer of $2.5 billion from Chase to Wells Fargo? Is that over a 5-day period, or
no? I just go to the bank and go to the teller and say I'd like a cashier's check.
Could you imagine for someone
for a $2.5 bill?
Yeah, you write that down. And then who's got the best cursive to write that along the line? I don't know how you do that.
I don't.
But I think it's more than just the best price. I would hope Robert Sarver gets the best owner, whose intentions are to come in here, win championships. Keep the whole gang together, so to speak, and just make sure that things continue to run smoothly. And that's, I think, for a lot of Suns fans.
Yes, we
all hope that that's it. Jack, you grew up with Suns fans. I'm a Suns fan since '68 when they started, and they can continue to make the kind of moves they need to do to win titles. We've been to the NBA championships. Okay?
You've been to the finals,
all dressed up, nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So hopefully, whoever that owner is committed committed to winning NBA titles and will do what it takes. Hey, go buy a damn title. I don't know. Go get Kevin Durant. Go get this guy. Go get that guy. Let's put 5 All-Stars on the floor just for 1 year.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that.
Just to win a title.
Yeah, let's go win 72 games. Let's go 16-0 through the playoffs. Win a title. Let's grab the parade downtown. I don't care. Let's just one time, before the good Lord takes me up there to the great football field in the sky. Well, it might be about 105 or so.
You might be standing on the sidelines.
Yeah, and he's got I guess the clipboard's up there really nice too. Hey, I'll be styling up there.
Yes, you will be. You'll have a styling clipboard.
And I don't know exactly what those cameras are too. We have the timeout. Fergie's here. I'll make sure I get the frontal shot from that camera in the north end zone.
You got it.
Hey, Danny, we saw you during the timeouts the other day. So I think for Suns fans,
yes,
can we finally get somebody that is committed? Not that Robert Sarver wasn't committed. Don't get me wrong. I think he was. But I think to just go that extra mile and go ahead and pay the damn luxury tax, I don't care, and try to get that title.
I'd love to see Jeff Bezos personally. I think he brings that appeal factor. I think people like Jeff Bezos. Amazon's everywhere. I'd love to see how he could transform the Suns team. And I think he honestly would transform the city of Phoenix, too. I'd love to see what he would do in the community. I'd love to see what he would do with this franchise, the expansion. I just think he brings more I think he brings the it factor, and it's something that you haven't seen from him. And, hey, maybe I think he could bring this franchise to something we haven't seen before.
I got it. You could say on everybody's jersey, the Suns are prime.
I like that. Suns are prime time. Yeah, Suns are prime time. Or the Suns will take you into a different orbit. Something along those lines. I mean, there's all kinds of them out there. No. But I think that
if you're going to tie it into to prime, you got to tie it into
the guy's got rocket ships taking off.
Oh, man.
He's got the whole 9. By the way, that last one just
it didn't work out too well. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I will say this. I think Jackson, or I hear you alluding to energy, creativity, forward thinking, all that. Well, why don't you forward think to go get that guy named KD if you buy the team, or buy that, or go get that guy, or before he didn't slip, go buy him, which you could, or go take that contract on. So, hey,
would they deliver him in a prime Amazon truck when he get off the truck and walk into the arena?
Would that be a marketing ploy right there? Huh? See that blue swoosh? Yep, that's that on swoosh on the jersey.
Oh, yeah.
On top of that,
it'll be there.
PayPal right here. Amazon Prime. Heck, the Suns will be NASCAR team.
You've already sold it to Bezos. Both you guys.
Well, the only question I have about Bezos is his basketball knowledge. Does he know the game? Does
Who
he know
cares?
the NBA?
Who cares? Just give me the money to go make my deals done and do this
you
and do
let
that.
James Jones take care of the basketball.
Give him a foam finger and put him on the front row. Who the heck cares? Let's go.
I can see that taking place. That would be.
I hope those days are beyond us.
Yeah,
are beyond. By the way, I wonder how Larry Fitzgerald, if he does stay involved with the Suns. He's a minority owner.
He is.
And I wonder whoever buys this team allows minority owners or sells off shares to minority owners to have guys like Larry Fitzgerald or the Najafi brothers involved, or however that's going to play out. Hey, John Najafi could be a player as well, too. We don't know.
I'm with you.
He's only worth $3.2 billion.
Yeah, that's all. That's all. The Cardinals are getting ready to play the Rams, Manuch, on Sunday. Andy Isabella has returned to practice. He did not play because he had a hurt back for the Raiders game, but he is back. James Conner is still sitting out of practice because of that ankle.
Yeah, you hope it's not a major ankle injury or a high ankle sprain. When he got tackled at being James Conner, you could see it roll just a little bit. So we'll see how that is. We'll catch up with Howard Balzer here from PHNX at 3:30. Get the latest update. I'm hoping that this team can be. It might be the healthiest that they've been in these past 2 games for this third game. And from that particular standpoint, guys rested yesterday.
They did.
Guys practiced today. It's just who can be close to 100% for that game. And as far as the receiving core is concerned, if Isabella's back, you've got a lot of guys that have played or getting a lot of reps, if anything.
Yeah.
So if they can hold serve for 3 more weeks after this week and go in at 3-3 or 4-2 or 2-4, when you get D-Hop back,
3 minutes,
that's not bad. Know who your receiving core is.
All right, let me take you to baseball because I'm just glad that this happened for Madison Bumgarner. He hasn't had a victory in 2 months, but the D-backs beat the LA Dodgers last night 6-1. Bumgardner gave up a solo home run to Mookie Betts over 6 solid innings, and it was just good to see the guy have an opportunity to at least kind of get back in the groove a little bit because he's been scuffling forever.
Well, he really has. He's 7-15 now on the season, and his first win over the Dodgers since 2017. Very well pitched game. We don't know if he was struggling physically, mechanically, whatever, over the last couple months. That's a long stretch.
Yeah, it is
for a guy that's one of those Cy Young Award winners and having the success he had in San Francisco. So hopefully he can get a couple more starts where they got just 2 more weeks,
right?
3 more weeks left in the season. Get maybe 2 or 3 more starts. Show he's corrected and he's healthy, and he go into next spring, which he will be back next spring, and help this staff out. But I think, quite frankly, you basically win 3 out of 4 games against this Dodger ball club. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, we thought they hit the wall, which they did. This young team hit the wall against the Dodgers, but finish strong, get everybody healthy to come back to spring training.
All right, a quick college football note for you. The Sun Devils will open up their Pac-12 opener. It is this Saturday. And 14th ranked Utah is going to be in town. And we all know they never should have lost to Florida, Utah. They had that game won, and they let it get away from them. But Utah 2-1.
Yeah, Cam Rising, quarterback for Utah, made a ill-advised throw across the middle toward the end of the game. I think basically at that point, you already got the field goal to tie the game up.
Right.
Going to overtime. Got a little greedy, learned his lesson. By the way, we'll catch up with Craig Bolerjack tomorrow at 3:30 there in Salt Lake City. He's the voice of the Utah Jazz. Also covers this Utah Utes team. We'll get his thoughts on this Utah team. But hey, Sean Iguanu, interim head coach for ASU. Good luck in your first game against a top 20 opponent. Get him ready, and you just never know. I will say this.
Yeah.
Sean's a great guy.
Yeah.
Known for many, many years. Did his quarterback camps with him and Rick Garrettson over there at Chandler High School. He'll have them ready.
Okay.
They'll be disciplined. They will know what they're doing.
Right.
They'll be ready to go. Utah may have more talent, but it's not as if this team's not going to be ASU, doesn't show up and give this Utah team a game.
Hey, everybody, how can you not know by now that 72 Sold is the easiest way to sell your home for top dollar? Hey, it's Jimmy B for 72 Sold. They have made the corporate 500 list of fastest growing real estate companies in America and have been featured in Forbes, ABC, CBS, and NBC. Now, you'd be crazy to sell your home any other way. So, for the fastest, easiest, most profitable way to sell your home, head to 72sold.com. That's 72 Sold, the official real estate partner of the Cardinals and Diamondbacks, and now partnering with us, Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. Just go to 72sold.com to get a higher price for your home. All right, when we come back, some potential buyers for the Suns and also a little rapid fire with my boy Manuch.
All right, let's go.
We'll see how he responds to some of my questions. It's all coming up next, everybody. We are live here in Glendale at Twin Peaks. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
You're live.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are here in Glendale, Twin Peaks, where you can come in and watch the NFL game tonight. It's Prime Video, which means it's a streaming service. If you don't have Prime Video, you need to head to the Lodge, because Twin Peaks will have the Browns and the Steelers tonight, Manuch. It's going to be a lot of fun in here, and people are already starting to line up. All right, it's something that we like to do every once in a while, because Manuch fancies himself as a wise wizard of just about everything. So when we do this particular segment, we try to show that he is, A, not that wise, and B, he is not a wizard. Roll it, Richie. All right, everybody, here we go. It is a little fun time right now. It is rapid fire with Manuch.
I'm ready. Got my seatbelt on, hands attended to. Excuse me, I got my hands on the reins.
Okay.
To ride that horse around that track.
Good golly,
Like
here we go.
The game of the music has set me up.
I hope you get saddle sores.
Oh, there you go.
We'll start first with the President's Golf Championship.
Yes.
First round being played today. Right now, the United States is leading Europe 2-0, and players are still out on the course. Manuch, how excited are you about the President's Cup?
Is it? Let me get another cup of coffee. Maybe ask that question later. You know what? Have no interest in the President's Cup.
What?
Yeah, none whatsoever. It's football season, Jimmy. It's football season with basketball season right around the corner. As a matter of fact, media day is on Monday, 9 o'clock.
Manuch, this is the United States against the international team.
That's great. I'm happy for them. As far as I'm concerned, golf season's over after the FedEx is concerned. You got the President's Cup. Yeah, we've got all the people here at Twin Peaks in Glendale.
Yeah.
Let me count how many are in front of the TV for the President's Cup.
We are. We're watching.
Let me. That's what I thought. 0. Nobody. Now, all that being said, I am a fine supporter of the United States of America.
Yes,
I hope that they win. I'd like to see them win. But, Jimmy, if you wouldn't have brought it up, I would have never known that the President's Cup was happening right now. Okay.
All right.
Enough said. Move on. Wasted way too much time.
All right, so Mr. Football Boy.
Yes.
The first game last week on Prime Video, the numbers were astronomical. It delivered over 16 million viewers, and Prime sold more Prime streaming in 3 hours than they ever have. Did you think that it would be that well watched and that well received?
Initially I did not. I thought everybody would be at a local Twin Peaks here in Arizona.
That's where I watched it.
But I will say this. I think people, it's come to that point that everybody's pretty much on all their devices. And depending on the game, I think this will be a great game. So I think people have purchased it at least for the season.
Okay.
We purchased it a good year and a half ago. And now that it's on, we can watch it at TV on the big screen.
Okay.
On the smart TV
screen, yes.
But I think a lot of folks out and about, it's football season. I mentioned, Jimmy, it's football season.
I remember that.
And the National Football League is going strong. So, no, it does not surprise me, but those numbers are pretty large in reference to what I thought might have been at least the initial time.
I was stunned by that big a turnout.
Because it was a freebie.
It was.
The first weekend.
Yes, right.
And people said, damn, we got to watch what's going on.
Yeah, it was amazing that they had that big of streaming and the content of that game. Of course, it was a prime game with Kansas City and the Los Angeles Chargers.
I see what you did there, Jimmy.
Yes.
I see a prime game with the Chiefs.
Yes.
I like what you did there.
You
did it without even knowing you did it.
I'm just not a pretty face here. College football, LSU on probation and fines for recruiting violations. Does this sound familiar for Arizona State?
Well, yeah, it's interesting how they came to they self-reported that they're going to do this. They'll be on probation. Is that this year or next year? That hasn't been clarified yet. But as far as ASU is concerned, ASU, it seems like this investigation is taking forever. Where basically ASU, you saw LSU come out and say, "Look, we did this, this, and this." What happened is one of the offensive line coach had given one of the recruits some gifts. Some paraphernalia, and not allowed to do that. So they're going to be on probation for a year. For Arizona State University, they want to self-proclaim It's just the NCAA's got to come down with what they're going to give ASU. So LSU in the SEC,
yes.
If you ain't cheating,
Yeah,
you ain't trying.
You ain't trying.
That's why Alabama is joined at the hip with NASCAR. Not that I'm saying they're cheating.
Oh, man.
I didn't say that. I did not say it.
Are you going to put the rubber to the road? Is that what you're going to do,
I just say it might have insinuated, but I am not going to say that allegedly by whatsoever. But I gotta say, recruiting right now with the NIL and recruiting and the portal, whatever, it's all fair in love and war, Jimmy.
Boy, you're not kidding. This one is really troublesome, and we're not going to make light of this. Former NFL QB and star Brett Favre, he's in trouble. Mm-hmm. And he apparently got $5 million from the former governor of Mississippi in a scam that person used to funnel $5 million to Brett Favre, so where his daughter goes to school, they could build a volleyball facility. And now that former governor says that he's going to plead guilty to the scam.
Guess what, Brett? You need to lawyer up, big fella. Or like the other monies he got back, he was supposed to pay back, and he only paid a portion of that back.
Right.
I would say that Brett Favre, you got a lot of splaining to do. And this is one of those things that he would probably just need to go in and say, hey, look, I'm going to meet my lawyers, meet with them. If you got to plead guilty like the governor is to help set this whole thing up,
right,
it'd be best you do that, pay fines, because if you try to fight this and go to court, Brett Favre, you could end up in jail.
Yes.
And you don't want to end up in jail. I think he just says, look, what do I owe? I'll plead guilty. They might put him on probation for 2 years. I guarantee that governor is going to have some kind of probation. I doubt they serve jail time, but there's fines, there's probation, and there's a whole mess of ugly involved with that down in Mississippi.
That is that's really bad. I mean, it really
it's like
is
the second
bad.
or third scenario.
It is.
Well, Favre's been involved in.
It's Mississippi. What do you expect? Look at their water situation.
Well, what to say about Brett Favre?
I'm with you 100%.
I mean, shady, fraudulent, allegedly, and all the other stuff. Like, Brett, dude, don't you have enough money to put away? Why are you even messing around? And on top of that, he should know better.
I'm with you.
Where's this money coming from? Unless the governor was trying to be a boy, be a friend, and say, look, I've got some dinero here.
It came from the COVID fund is where
exactly,
it came from.
Wherever. But those are some of the things where his attorneys and the people that represent Brett Favre should know better.
I'm with you 100%. And finally, and I left this one for last because this is special.
Okay.
Roger Federer is going to play his final tennis match. It'll take place tomorrow. He's playing in the Laver Cup. He's going to play doubles with Rafael Nadal. Now, one of the players that is going to be matched up against Nadal and Federer is Manuch's new all-time best friend, Francis Tiafoe, and Jack Sock of the United States will be the opposing players in the men's doubles match tomorrow in the Laver Cup. How excited are you, man?
T-Man and Sock. I hope they sock it to him. I couldn't resist that one, guys. I just hope they sock it to him. What a nice farewell
it is
for Federer and Nadal. I mean, two of the best who ever played the game.
Yes.
To go against the T-Man and Jack Sock. Have no idea.
You can't even pronounce his last name.
Yeah.
What'd you call him before? Tofu?
Oh, Tofu. Yeah, Tofu. And Jack Sock, I don't know what drawer he came out of. So I can't tell you. I'm sorry, guys. I couldn't resist. Jackson's over here shaking his head.
Well, I have
sit
too.
back and listen because,
Did you learn anything, Jax?
Hey, rookie, give me 50 and 50 real quick.
There you go.
But what a great way for Rafael and Federer to go out.
Yeah.
That's good. So T-Man, I'll just call him T-Man.
T-Man.
And it's the sock master. They're going to get after
T-Man and the sock.
I just hope his socks are clean when he goes out there.
Oh, man. There it is. Little rapid fire with Manuch. Hey, make sure that you tune in this Saturday. It's the only local sports gambling show in the state. Take the points. It's presented by Casino Arizona, and it is broadcast live from the sports book at the CAZ Sports Bar. Mike Bauer, Mike Gross, they've got you covered every Saturday from 11 until 1, and the guys give you uncensored sports betting opinions, analysis, and advice. Once again, Saturday, Casino Arizona in the Sports Bar Sports Book starting at 11, and you can listen right here on Fox Sports 910. All right, coming up, University of Arizona came away with a terrific win for new head coach Jed Fish. Man, oh man, I was impressed with that game. So how can they sustain that against Cal this weekend? U of A sideline reporter Glenn Howell. He's going to be our guest next to break it all down. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
You're live.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We continue here. Glendale is where we're located at the Twin Peaks. Guys coming in right now, trying to get a little comfortable, find the best TV that they want to look at, and get you ready for tonight's Amazon Prime game. It is the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. But right now, we're going to switch gears and talk a little college football. And the reason, University of Arizona Radio Network host is joining us right now. It is Glenn Howell, and it's always great when we get him on the show. Glenn, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. Welcome, pal.
What's happening, fellas? How you guys doing?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm thinking in Tucson it probably feels the same way after what took place last weekend.
Oh my gosh, we're on a little bit of a roll, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. we gotta continue to play well. I thought we played a pretty good game against North Dakota State. Not only a physical game, but I attribute that game to a mental game because of how we were strong mentally to stop that team that was just shoving it down our throats on the run game And then all of a sudden we decided, you know what, we got to make a stop to win this game, and we stopped them, and that's how we won that ball game.
I think to that point, Glenn, they had 283 yards rushing, 283.
Yeah.
To your 165. But I think the point was very resilient. Was the phrase that came in my mind watching that game, to get that stop at the end of the game and go down and score and see DeLaura, your fine quarterback, have the presence of mind to not panic and see that 1 year experience that he has come to fruition on the touchdown pass.
Oh, yeah. It's just – and just in our offensive line, I thought did a great job because they had some good defensive ends that they did not have one. They didn't give up one sack that game. That defense was pretty good on the edge. And, our tackles have not been very good the last couple of games. So I was really proud of how those guys played, and it was just a gutsy win for us.
And when you talk about gutsy win, has that been maybe some of the changes or the things brought in with this team from Jedd Fisch, that you're going to have to be mentally tough to withstand maybe a bad 3 quarters and come back and win the game in the fourth quarter?
That is totally it. Coach Fisch has been putting it together with them of how to be mentally tough. That's how it wins ball games. And then if you have the physical part of it, that makes it gravy. That makes it really easy for you to win ball games late. And it showed it to us, because think about that. They were getting 9 yards on first down with Lecce was running that ball down our throat. And we stopped them 3 downs in a row. They probably thought that they were going to go out and just run the clock out on us. And our guys stepped up and made a play. And that I think is I keep on going back to the mental, because if you're thinking on the sideline, these guys have been running against us all day. Are we going to be able to stop them? I don't know if we're going to be able to stop them. And Ricky Hundley told those guys before they went out, we need one stop, guys. He told the whole defense, we need one stop, and we win this game.
It was
one stop.
Yeah.
Ricky Hundley said that. And that's what Ricky Hundley used to do when we used to win games.
There you go.
That's what's bringing that toughness, with Chuck and him on that staff. I think it's really showing a lot on how our kids are playing tough.
The bounce back of quarterback DeLaura, I thought, was highly important. Talk a little bit about that, and that has to continue if you're going to have success at Cal.
Hey, Dan, this as a quarterback. I think it's play selection.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Jed did a better job of setting him up to be successful. I thought we did a good job of using the tight end, utilizing the tight end, going across, rolling him out. He was understanding, as you could see when he was playing in this game, he was understanding how to use his feet and not, go crazy and jumping all around and letting, the offensive line do their blocks. And then when he had an opening, he was gone. And then he would get down. So he was playing a lot smarter. And I think Jed had some really good plays for him that kept him in rhythm.
Glenn, it's interesting you bring that up, because I know in playing pro ball in Buffalo and USFL, what have you, that the coaches would always ask, what are you comfortable with and what are you not comfortable with? And to your point, I thought the same thing. He looked really comfortable. He looked confident. And I think that's a sign of a good coach. Jedd Fisch and Jimmy Doherty did not put him in uncomfortable scenarios where he's forced to basically get out of his bandwidth and make a play.
Yeah, that's the key with Jaden. If you get him going in a rhythm, I think when he was in a rhythm at San Diego State, man, it was like, wow, did they just script all these plays out? They were just ran perfectly. I mean, once you get a guy in a rhythm, and that's what I think Jaden DeLaura has to do, is be in a rhythm, he can be very, very successful. And then he got in his mind that he can live another down, which I thought that he did well. He didn't throw it into coverage. He threw it out of bounds if he didn't have a play. There was no more balls hit on the ground where you were throwing on a swing pass. You know, he was so comfortable. I think he was a little cocky. That's what I like, you know. So that's what I think we have to do against Cal. Because I tell you, Cal's a better team than we played last year. There's 14 guys that didn't play last year, that are playing this year. Okay, we played against a shaved down team against Cal, and that's going to be a hard out there in Strawberry Canyon.
He's Glenn Howe, pre-halftime and post-game host for the U of A Radio Network, also sideline reporter. Boy, Glenn, you brought something out there that every quarterback needs to hear, and that's pretty much, look, number one, it's okay to punt. Number two, you can't get a touchdown on every pass. And number three, live for another down. Don't put your team in a bad position. Don't make one mistake even worse mistake. And that's some of the greatest advice I got in college and pro football is, you know what? It's okay to punt. Let the defense make a stop, and you just go get regrouped if you have to.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And I think Jed is getting better. Jed said this last week. He says, I'm getting to know Jaden. Jaden's getting better, getting to know me better. And we're going to get comfortable. And I think it takes a couple of games for them to do that. And I'm sure that I hope that it's coming together. Every game we're getting better and better. And that's what we did. We took a little step back, I think, in the Mississippi State game. But we came back and we corrected the things. And I think that's good coaching. If you can correct things that are wrong and you show it the next game, that's good coaching. And, you know, our defense is playing deep. Our defense, you can't fault them, man. They bend and don't break. That's what Johnny Danson is doing. He made big plays when we needed to. Those guys on defense, and that's what we're going to need against Cal.
All right, you referenced Cal and how many different guys now that they have on that team from last year. I'm just curious on this road trip, how do you see this game playing out then, Glenn?
Well, I see what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to run the ball against this Cal defense. This Cal defense, their front four is pretty tough. They did pretty well against Notre Dame, and I believe we can run the ball against them. If we can run the ball against them, and I think we have some matchups that are to our advantage on the outside with wide receivers, because their corners are really short corners. They're not that big, and they're young. They're not that old. They're like super seniors or anything. And I think we can get some matchups, and with Cowling getting open and getting to T-Mac with those matchups, I think we can exploit their defense. And then on the offensive side of the ball with Cal, we just got to put pressure on Plummer. Make sure he's uncomfortable. Their offensive line is real young now. Okay, they're real young. Redshirt freshmen at the tackles. They've given up 12 sacks this year so far. And our outside guys, Jalen Harris, he had a rebirth this year. I don't know what happened to him. He's playing out of his mind. And then Eccles, who's playing on our outside, is just getting to the quarterback all the time. So I think if we can do that, put pressure on him, and get Plummer off his spot, I think we're going to be very successful on Saturday.
You know, Glenn, and watching the games, there's a juice, there's electricity, there's an energy on that sideline I have not seen down there in many, many years.
Oh, yeah. Me being on the sideline and seeing that and feeling that, me and Kelvin Ephon, the captain, we feel that. We feel that there's a different kind of vibe there, that what these players are more and more confident as they go. I'm really excited about what they can do, but they're not getting a
3 minutes
confident. I think they're getting they know they got to get better, so they're in the grind, you know. And I love the way our defense is playing better, man. We got guys up front, you know, with Kyron Barnes and Paris Shan, and these guys are playing good up front. They're playing, and then the linebackers. We finally have linebackers that are playing, that are making tackles. We haven't had linebackers, I'm going to tell you, for the last maybe 3 or 4 years. We haven't had linebackers that can tackle and come after it, and we got them. And then I want to give kudos to to Chuck Cecil with our safety.
Mhm.
You know how, Dan, I don't know if you remember, we used to get beat in the middle all the time.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it was like, you know what? Come over here and it's a buffet right there in the middle. And come and eat, and we haven't had any balls thrown to the middle of the field this year, which is amazing. And I think that our safeties are playing more disciplined, and our safeties are understanding the game better. So I really am proud to say, tell that my teammate Chuck Cecil, I think he's doing a great job.
Always great, pal, when we have a chance to catch up with you. Enjoy the trip to Berkeley. Have fun.
It'll be great in Strawberry Canyon. I hope we have some strawberries and cream. That's what I like.
Topped off with some whipped cream and a cherry, right?
There you go.
There.
That's right.
Thank you.
Down, fellas.
There you go. Thank you, Glenn.
1 minute.
There you go. Glenn Howell, he's the pre- and halftime and post-game host. It's on the U of A radio network, and at Twitter, it's at Glenn P. Howell. At Glenn P. Howell. That's where you can find him on Twitter. All right, it's back. It's our 15th annual Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em contest. It's all powered by Blue Moon and Coors Light. Just pick each week's pro games for weekly man cards and this year's grand prize, either a trip to Hawaii or $5,000 cash. That's right. Head to fanpick'em.com and get signed up. And speaking of which, coming up here in Glendale at the Twin Peaks, we will take the 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth caller, the fifth caller for our Twin Peaks Challenge. It's powered by Coors Light and Blue Moon. You'll compete against one of the Twin Peaks girls for a $25 man card. That's worth a few ice-cold Coors Lights man-sized beers as well. And we'll take, once again, the fifth caller, 602-260-9191. 602-260-9191. It's the Twin Peaks Challenge, and it's coming up next. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate
Sarah
within the
Smile.
first day.
That's it.
Find ZipRecruiter for free at
All the notes.
ZipRecruiter.com/Sarah. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Please,
If I
Chris.
could tell you how many times I hear that.
Oh, I'm sure that you do.
Chance to challenge one of the beautiful girls from Twin Peaks. It's Peaks Picks. The Twin Peaks girls are the essential ingredient to the perfect lodge experience. Each week, our girl next door Twin Peaks contestant takes on a Fox Sports 910 listener for 3 games. Get the most picks right and win a $25 man card for one of the 4 Valley Twin Peaks locations: Scottsdale, Phoenix, Glendale, and Tempe. Don't forget man-sized Coors Light draft specials every Thursday at Twin Peaks.
Good life.
Time for Peaks Picks.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910. We're hanging out here in Glendale at Twin Peaks, and the lovely and extremely talented Sarah is our guest. How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Great. Great to have you, and you're going to be matched up against one of our callers.
Okay.
And Bob from Phoenix is on the line. Bob, are you there, and how you doing, kid?
I am here, yes.
All right, pal, here we go, and we will start with the games right now.
All right, Sarah. By the way, does everybody remember your name by saying Sarah Smile?
They do, or yeah.
Have you ever heard the song from Hall & Oates?
I have.
Have you?
Yeah, I've been getting called that probably since I was like 6.
Well, it was a great song.
It is a good song.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's any song to be referenced to, I'm glad it's that one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like Jackson, our fine intern rookie, I think of Action Jackson.
Oh, that's a good one. Action Jackson.
Yeah, when I met Jimmy B, it was Jimmy B. Hey, yo, Jimmy B.
Yo,
you know.
Jimmy B. Okay.
Yeah, all right, you ready? You ready to go?
I guess.
Hands at 10 and 2?
As ready as I'll ever be. I
Okay,
guess.
fair enough. Bob's ready.
The first game here, it's going to be at any of the Twin Peaks. It'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cleveland Browns. This game is at Cleveland. It is the vaunted rivalry for many, many years. Who do you got in this game?
Probably Pittsburgh.
Not probably. You're going to take either. I feel
Okay.
Got to be definitive.
Pittsburgh.
Okay, so Sarah's going with Pittsburgh. You said that like the folks back there in Pittsburgh. Where are you from?
I'm from Cali.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
a Cali girl.
Orange County.
Yeah, I thought I heard a little Pittsburgh twang in there.
Pittsburgh East.
Yeah. All right, Bob, who are you taking in this game?
I'll take Cleveland at home in the dog pound. I'll go Cleveland.
Okay,
You got
good
Cleveland.
pick,
All
Bob.
right, second choice here. We got Utah at Arizona State University. ASU comes in with interim head coach Sean Iguanu since Herm Edwards got fired last week.
Yeah.
Utah's number 14th ranked?
13th
ranked team in the nation. Very, very good. But it's at Arizona State University. Is it Utah or is it Arizona State University? Who you got?
I have to go with the Arizona State University.
All right, she's going with ASU.
It's
Bob,
upset.
Bob from Phoenix. Who do you got?
Grown up an ASU fan, but I know reality, and I have to go Utah.
Now there's a smart man.
Reality.
Yes,
Reality.
yeah.
Okay.
Who thinks reality anymore?
Bob does.
I mean, look at this.
Okay, Bob. We're getting a little
No, I
feisty.
think I think Utah's the top almost 10 team in the country. They're really good.
Yes,
Yeah, they hiccuped against.
ASU
They
Well,
did. They
I
hiccuped
love a good underdog.
They're kind of catching ASU at a tough time right now.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, last game, and we're going to need a tiebreaker here. We got the Rams at the Cardinals. Now, for both of you, since you both got different picks, so we'll need a winner of the Rams-Cardinals game. Just from here to Twin Peaks and Glendale,
Yes.
it'd be a driver wedge. I say driver 9-iron for me. Jimmy would be a driver.
Can you speak female for me for a second?
Oh, okay, fine. If you were in the kitchen cooking and you had 3 pieces of bacon on the
Oh my
skillet,
goodness.
Okay. You went the cooking angle with her?
yeah, I,
cooking angle.
hey, I like bacon,
But
and
I got it. I got the reference. I got the reference.
There you go. You talking about washing dishes too for crying out loud?
No, man, I have a dishwasher.
My goodness. All right.
Dishwasher.
All right. Let me bring it back to par here. Did you see that my golf
Oh,
back to
good
par?
God.
These
Sorry.
golfing references.
Oh, yeah.
I know.
So the Rams at the Cardinals. Who's going to be your winner, and what's the score going to be?
So definitely the Cardinals, of course.
Okay.
And I just feel like 27-16 feels good.
Okay.
That number.
27-16. All right, Bob, there in Phoenix. For you, it's probably a driver 3-wood wedge from Twin Peaks over to there. Who you got winning this game? What's your score?
I'll still get there. Well, we've been kind of opposites here. I'm going to go with the Rams.
Okay.
You're just against me, Bob.
I'll go 31-24.
Okay.
31-24. All right, Bob. So make sure you give all your information back to Richie back there. If you win, you're going to win a $25 man card at any of the Valley Twin Peaks locations.
Yeah, man. Good luck.
Thank you for playing, Bob. Good luck to you.
You got it, pal. Thank you. That's how it's done. You were terrific.
Awesome.
You know what we
She
should
wanted
do?
female references from here to the stadium. You could have said something along the lines of what? You could have had the Corvette's only like a 3-minute drive at 60 miles an hour from here. Or something along those lines. You went cooking, and what else did you? I would think you go cleaning. We could talk about it. Well, if you had your vacuum, you could probably go from here to there.
The length of your outlet cord. For the
So it's probably old school. It's
he went the bacon route. Too.
I did.
2 slivers of bacon away.
It's probably a 50-foot walk past Victoria's Secret.
There you go.
See, now I'm in the right ballpark. And then you head down to Kohl's. Follow.
Who shops at Kohl's anymore?
I don't know. And then you stop at the Amazon Prime store because your phone's not working, so you got to get re-hooked up to Amazon Prime.
See, that was better, Jimmy. You went with the clothing line to get her there from Westgate to the stadium.
If there's one thing a TPG knows, it's clothes.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of Twin Peaks, talk to us about the Thursday specials you guys have got going on here.
Well, Thursdays we're usually focused on our man beers, our 22 ounces. Tonight we have our $6 Blue Moons, our $5.75 Coors Lights, and then we actually have our house beer, which is a Naughty Brunette, tonight going for $6.50.
So you got it going on out here.
Yes.
You have an area for the Steelers fans on one side and the Browns fans on the other side?
We don't. They're going to be mixed all together. I know.
Boy.
Adds a little bit of sauce to the mix, a little bit of spice.
Yes, that will be spicy.
Yeah,
Well,
it's
Sarah-
always fun.
Sarah Smile, thank you so much.
Thank
did
you guys
great.
for having me.
Oh,
You were
absolutely.
terrific, and your picks were mediocre at best. But thank you.
Mediocre. Wow.
No, you were awesome.
Your references were mediocre at
They
best.
were.
Oh, good. You go, girl. Look at you. With the guy. And you put Bob and Jimmy in their place.
You know.
Yeah.
Gotta stand
Hey,
up
Bobby.
for the females.
Cali girl, man.
Oh, I know.
Gotta watch out for
I
us,
know.
especially in Orange County, girl.
Oh, boy. Even better.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it, girl. Thank you.
Sarah was terrific. So was Bob. And Bob's got it going on. He's got Cleveland, Utah, and the Rams. Sarah has Pittsburgh, ASU,
Cardinals.
and the Cardinals.
Yeah. 31-24. I think this game, oh, man. Just, you look at the Rams and you look at the Cardinals, somewhere in the middle lies the truth, right? You throw out the high, throw out the low.
Oh, yep.
I still got to go with the Rams. I think I picked the Rams, something along the lines like a 28-24. I think it's going to be a good game, a good physical game.
Okay.
But I don't know. Even though Matthew Stafford has some bad throws, there always seems to way when you have Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp,
right,
and the tight ends and Cam Akers and all the above.
Yep.
And they're the world champs.
They are the world champs.
You got to always lean.
And some guy
toward
on
the favorite.
defense.
Yeah, that Aaron Donald guy. He's pretty damn good.
Pretty damn good.
Yeah, that three techniques. So, but then again, as we said, if you don't have an opportunity on Amazon Prime, come on to one of the Valley Twin Peaks all around the Valley of the Sun.
All right, everybody, we're coming right back. Howard Balzer will be our guest in hour number 3. And don't forget, you can have a chance to upgrade on that backyard grill situation. Just text Peaks to 55678. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B right here on Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
It's all 602-977-1900.
You're live.
And always online at lernerandrowe.com. Now time for Calling All Sports with Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B on Fox Sports 910.
Hey, everybody, welcome back in. Final hour. No, don't all stand up and applaud like they're doing here at the bar right now, Manuch. We are live here in Glendale at the Twin Peaks. We're having a great time here today. The President's Cup golf is on. Manuch has been dialed into that like all afternoon. I know you're so excited to watch Tony Finau play. So, and at any rate, we got lots to get to, so let's go.
Time for the top local and national stories of the hour. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Bet big on your favorite teams and players in an environment that's as exciting as the game you're watching. There's no better place in the Valley to get in on the action. The Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar. Now, guys, what's your top story this hour?
Well, Manuch and I have been discussing at length some of the people that we would like to see purchase the Phoenix Suns, and we'll begin with that in this hour because, to be perfectly honest with you, I think there's going to be a lineup, and I don't think it's going to be one or two people. I think it might be 5, 6, maybe 7 to 8 people that will have interest, Manuch, in the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, very attractive franchise. I mean, with Robert Sarver set up pretty much. Current value, they say, is right around $1.2 to $1.5 billion, according to Forbes. This could be bid up to $2.5 to $3.5 billion for the Phoenix Suns franchise. But when you see the likes of Jeff Bezos and Bob Iger from former CEO at Disney and some of the other potential buyers that are out there, some of the big hitters, so to speak, some of the wealthiest individuals of the world, if you really want to take a good hard look at it, I think those are some of the things that will attract a lot of the buyers for this team. Now, I think it may be a 3 and or 4 month process. A lot of due diligence to be had. I think there may be 3, 4, 5 that will put a bid in for this Phoenix Suns team. It could be like a silent bid auction or a sealed bid, where basically whoever wants to throw their hat in the ring or put their offer in has it in by a certain date.
Right.
You give them 60, 90 days to do their due diligence, work with Robert Sarver, get all the information you need on contracts, on real estate, on leases, on everything that's of value or it's an asset for this Phoenix Suns franchise. Maybe meetings with the mayor, other meetings with other people. Just give them a good 90 days to deal with your broker. And if I'm Robert Sarver, I'm sure he will have a business broker to go ahead and deal with this. I'm sure he's got his real estate brokers and lining everything up to see what the true value is within the next month.
I would think so.
Say, hey, by December 15th, we'd like to have all the bids in by December 15th, if you're a player or not. Whether you close or not this year because of tax ramifications, who knows? Or maybe you wait into next year for tax ramifications at that point in time when you sell your team, which is a business, and part of that business got real estate holdings and all the above. There's a lot, if you're going to be a potential buyer for this franchise, to uncover to make sure you're comfortable with. I think you should be comfortable with that this is a pretty damn good team.
Yes.
It's a great city.
It is that.
It's a pretty good, damn good organization.
It's very well supported.
And what the potential is of the upside, because it is a business.
Yes, it is.
For you to continue to make money. And if you buy this, what's the value in 4 or 5 or 6 years? If the value is at $2 billion now, for example, will it be at $4 to $5 billion 5, 6, 7 years from now?
I think one of the things that fans will have to recognize is what you just said. It is a business, and that is first and foremost on the front burner for the potential buyers. That how am I going to make this work? How am I going to make sure that it is not a lost leader for me, that it is financially sound for me to make this investment and buy the team?
Yeah, and I think what you have to look at is, all the real estate that Robert Sarver owns. Is he going to sell that with it? Is it just strictly the business? So I think the other thing these buyers will need to understand or
wait, just let me stop you. I'm sorry about that. So you're saying that there is a component that the fans aren't even thinking about. they're only thinking about just the team.
Yes.
You think there may be ancillary property involved?
Absolutely. You got to think about the lease they have there at the
all right, good point.
With the stadium, with the facility there. You have to think about what other real estate that's part of the Suns organization. Now you got to imagine they got the practice facility.
Okay.
That was at $65-70 million. Is he going to sell that? Is he going to keep it? I would think he'd look to sell any real estate holdings dealing with the Suns. The lease is going to go, I don't know how much longer that lease is. If it's another 4, 5, 6 years, that'll be part of the transaction. So the owners have got, the new buyers have got to look at the lease. You got to look at the real estate.
Yeah.
You look at the contracts.
Okay.
You look at all the other ramifications. You look at the employees that are there. What are they making? I mean, there's a litany of so many things that a potential buyer has got to discover and uncover to go do their due diligence when they put a proper offer in.
So it's just not cut a check and that's it.
No, it's not. And I think, again, the business, they have to understand what they have and what they don't have.
Okay.
What expiring contracts for the players? What do I need to do? Who are some of the people I want to bring along that I would like to incorporate in my basketball business that might be part of former Disney manager or a Amazon Prime manager or an Apple manager? Some of those people that helped you to become successful, will they become part of your organization? So there's a lot of due diligence, guys, that these guys have got to unravel and understand, and just make sure they're comfortable when they cut a check for $3.5 billion or whatever that is, that they're going to get their money's worth.
Yeah.
And I think they will. You got a team that's been vying, went to an NBA title game 2 years ago.
Right.
Our title series.
Yeah.
And then last year they missed out. They made the quarterfinals. And where do they go from here? Some of the semis. So where do they go from here? So, and I think for a lot of us Suns fans, I want to see a buyer come in aggressive who wants to, number one, I don't care about all the other minutia, if you will, that's out there. So I can throw that in there.
Turn his mic off.
Yeah,
turn his mic off.
Just make sure that they're committed to winning. And if you got to go make that purchase or go buy that guy or whatever, that you do that. But again, as you mentioned, it's a business. We want to be consistent about what product we put on the floor.
Okay.
And then on top of that, guys,
you're not done?
No. Keep the core nucleus of players that are here, that can stay here, and then build on that from there.
Manuch, I'm really curious to see if indeed the names that we just tossed out, if indeed they are serious, or are they just putting their toe in the water to see if it's hot or cold?
No, I don't think anybody that steps up that makes a serious offer, why waste your time? That is so much due diligence you have to go through.
Right.
And then on top of that, you got to get approved by the Board of Governors, by the NBA. So you got to be in good standing with the NBA.
That is correct.
With the owners. Oh, by the way, you got to be in good standing. They want to know who's going to be their new partner in the league.
Yeah.
Does this individual or individuals, do they pass the litmus test or do they pass the vetting test on top of that?
Okay.
So there is a plethora of things that the league, that the team, and these new buyers have to go through. This is not just going to happen overnight.
All right, fair enough. Take me to the Cardinals. By the way, Howard Balzer coming up at the bottom of the hour, and we'll dive into everything Cardinals with him. But quickly, once again, I looked at the guys who are not practicing, and they're getting extra days rest, and I'm concerned, Manuch, once again, who's going to be healthy enough to even play in Sunday's game?
Well, I think what we saw at the end of last week's game against the Raiders, it seemed like everybody that was playing seemed to be at 100%. If they were at 85 or 90%, they all looked pretty good, at least the second half.
Okay.
I think the first half, we saw a team that was sleepwalking through the first half. Might have been some of the worst 6 quarters of play by a Cardinals team I've seen in many, many years. And I think I attribute a lot of that to the lack of preseason play, live reps versus other teams. Now, that rust should be knocked off. I think that team loses a lot of WD-40 at halftime against the Las Vegas Raiders, so all that should be knocked off. They should be flowing, and it should be very fluid. But, again, depending on what the injury is, can they sustain close to 100%, if not 90%? And then here's the other thing.
Okay.
You got to be effective. You're 85, 90%, you're playing. You better be effective. And I think the other question mark in my mind is right on the back of that number 9. Is that guy over there, Isaiah Simmons? That first round pick from 3 years ago?
I know who he is.
Yeah, well, that's it. Question mark on his back. What are we going to see out of him this week?
All right.
Has he learned a valuable lesson? How productive will he be? Because this is a very pivotal year for him as a third-year guy, as a top pick. And if you ain't getting it right now, you better get it right moving forward.
They cannot put him in situations where he's going to get caught trying to cover Cooper Kupp or the running back, whoever it is coming out of the backfield.
Or tight end.
Or tight end for that matter, because then he's just going to be chasing like he did against
Here,
the Chiefs.
It's as simple. Vance Joseph,
Yep.
Cliff Kingsbury. I know you guys listen to Roc and Manuch each and every day from 1 to 4 right here.
I
on
was
Fox
just talking
Sports
to the guy
910.
over here. He says he loves me on the show.
Yeah, and I tell you,
He doesn't like you at all.
Vance Joseph, just leave Isaiah Simmons alone at the weak side outside linebacker, please.
Okay.
Just leave him there. Let him learn that position. Stop moving him around. He's, you've made him a jack of all trades, master of none. Just leave him a weak outside linebacker, the weak side backer. Let him rush. Teach him how to play that position. Just leave him there, like we saw with Reddick a few years ago.
Hassan
Reddick. Finally, they put him in the proper position as an outside linebacker.
Yeah.
Got him off the damn line, and he flourished.
Yes.
Lo and behold, got himself a brand new
got a good
contract, Carolina.
That's right.
So leave him alone. My advice to them, if you're listening, I know you are, is let him play weak outside linebacker. Let him be the guy.
All right. I'm more than good with that. I really am.
It have to be.
I just want to see if it plays out.
Jax, am I mistaken?
He's so fast, and I feel like nowadays when you see these edge rushers,
yes,
they're just so quick.
Yes.
They're not the biggest. Oh, and you can see that from last game, Isaiah Simmons can lay the boom.
Sure.
He can hit hard. Why not put him on the outside? I think
leave him there.
Leave him there.
Leave him. Let him rush. Let him loop. Do some stunts. Do some loops. And some blitzes.
And let Zaven Collins have the green dot.
Yeah,
he does now. He's got it now.
He does have it now.
Yeah.
Like
I said before, I've never had more conversation about a freaking green dot in my entire life on television and radio. It's amazing to me.
That green dot, that's what it's all about. Well, at least Zaven Collins. And the other thing was Zaven Collins, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
They just let him play the whole game. Let him make mistakes. Let him learn. It's early in the season. Give him the green dot. Let him make the calls. Just let the guys play. And then they'll work it out. If you can win while they're working it out, that's the bonus.
There you go. Hey, do you need a new backyard patio grill for your place? Well, your chance right now is to get a chance to win one. That's right. Just text PEAKS. That's PEAKS, PEAKS, to 55678. 55678, PEAKS, 55678. And you'll be entered to win a customized backyard grill patio set. It's all courtesy of the great folks here at Twin Peaks, Blue Moon and Coors Light. And you can enter once a day. Standard message data rates do indeed apply. Well, most weekend bettors prefer to lay their money down on favorites. Wait till you hear Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. And what we do, we are all about the who let the dogs out. Underdogs, that is. By the way, we will do all of that coming up next here at Twin Peaks, and it's all brought to you by the new sports book at the CAZ Sports Bar at Casino, Arizona. It's next. Fox Sports 910.
dogs. The question is, who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
Who let the dogs out?
Most weekend bettors prefer to lay their money down on favorites because they can't get their head around backing an underdog. Not Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B. They're all about the dogs. Time now for the guys' dog picks of the week on Fox Sports 910.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're in Glendale live right now at Twin Peaks, and we're going to talk some dogs because when we lose, this is the best part of it, we will donate $25 each to the Arizona Humane Society when we lose. Right now, I'm up to $50 already, so I'm in trouble. However, we are looking for someone that would like to match us. So if you're interested in that, you can always let us know. All right, so we're going to put Jax in here right now. How'd we do last week, Big Dog?
Speaking of a dog, man, I've been dogging out the last 2 weeks.
You both of us have.
Not too hot last week, gentlemen. As a group, we went 1-4. Woo! And that one who won is Roc right now, who's 2-0. He picked Liberty plus 16.5. They ended up losing the game by 1. Great pick by Roc.
That was a good pick because Liberty, you think they go, wow, and 16.5 against Wake Forest, good Wake Forest team. Mm-hmm. And they hung in that game. So Roc 2-0 already?
2-0 from Roc. And then Manuch, he picked Michigan State. We were talking all week. Why is Washington 3.5-point favorites? And, well, they answered that question on Saturday. Jimmy went with the bold pick, South Carolina Gamecocks. He thought they were going to lose by less than 24, and Jimmy, they lost by more than 24.
They lost by 124 to Georgia.
That's one of those games. Oh my goodness. God. I think they beat the spread by the end of the first quarter, Jimmy.
And then Ben, he's 1-1 after a loss. He picked BYU last week. They ended up losing by more than 3.5 points against Oregon, who looked very good last week. And then myself, I picked Texas Tech. They lost by 14, and the cover was 10 against NC State.
You know, and speaking of Texas Tech, Tyler Shuck, the quarterback that got hurt, he should be back hopefully within the next 2 weeks. Smith's done a fine job at coming in as backup for Texas Tech, but NC State, just too tough.
They're good
for the Texas Tech Red Raiders.
Us three are all 0-2.
Yeah.
We need a bounce back week this week, gentlemen.
I need a slump buster.
Yeah, speaking of free dogs, we are definitely free dogs.
Speak for yourself. All right, so here we go. Let's start first with Manuch's play.
Manuch, you played the game, so this should be a no-brainer.
They're all my dogs.
Give us your dog of the week.
You know, I like this one. The Green Bay Packers going into Tampa Bay. They're a 1-point dog. I'm hoping that they will cover. I just saw this offense by the Green Bay Packers start to get off the schneid. And you looked at Tom Brady, things just don't look right with that offense. Now, they won the game last week, and they got a solid defense. But going into Tampa, I think the Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers et al., I think that they cover this game being the 1-point dog.
No Mike Evans.
That's right. Mike Evans, that's right.
Ooh, that's right.
Suspended for a game. And by the way, that barbecue place in New Orleans, he's never going to be allowed to eat at that barbecue place in New Orleans after that dust up that he had in that game last week.
Oh, man, that was fun to watch, to be honest with you. All right, here we go with me.
Finally, he's not Jimmy the Greek, but he's been calling the game for over 40 years.
What about the dogs?
Jimmy B, what's your underdog pick of the week?
All right, this one I'm going to stay in the NFL because I've had zero success with college.
I would hope you stay in the NFL.
Yes. So I'm going to stay in the NFL. The Buffalo Bills, everybody thinks, well, they're the Super Bowl winner already after 2 games. They went to L.A. and dusted the Rams and then just blew out Tennessee at home. But now they're going to do a little fishing in South Beach.
See what he did there, Jax?
A little fishing in South Beach. Manuch and Jax, I watched the 4th quarter of that Baltimore-Miami game, and I'm telling you right now, the Dolphins are not pushovers. There better be a lot of minnows in the sea if the Buffalo Bills are going to win at Miami. I am taking the +6 Dolphins at home, and I'm riding that dog to win the game outright.
Oh, wow.
Win the game outright.
Well, I think this will be the best offense that the Bills will have seen. Just a matter of the defense that the Dolphins, can they hang with Josh Allen? This could go back and forth. Boy, a home dog, that being Miami.
Yep.
So we were talking a little bit earlier in reference to Mike Yam of the NFL Network, the pretenders and contenders.
Yes.
Well, we know that Bills are a contender. What are the Dolphins? At home, the Bills have perennially been dogs, have struggled down in Miami forever, even when I was back there playing with the Bills.
Yep.
We go into Miami and just always seem to struggle there. We played good, but we just could not close the deal. So that could be, as they say in Texas, Jimmy, that might be a good pick right there.
I like that game. And look, I got nothing against the Bills. I'd love to see the Bills finally win a Super Bowl and finally clear the air after losing 4 straight.
Well, guys, you guys went to NFL. I'm going to stick with college because I went to the University of Montana. We don't back down. We do not back down.
Why we back down going to the NFL? I don't understand.
I mean, you're just nervous. I mean, that's why you went to the NFL.
So what you're saying, if I'm afraid, go get a dog, you get that, the dog. Sorry.
Jax, just talk. Don't turn off his mic, Richie.
I'm going to go Stanford plus 13.5. I think this Washington team is on a high right now, and Stanford is one of those sneaky teams in the Pac-12 that could either win this game or at least cover the spread. They lost to USC by 13.
They did.
Yeah.
And USC is a very good team. I think Washington is not as good as this USC.
And last but not least, Richie, who you got, buddy?
The Detroit Lions are 13-6 against the spread across 2021 and 2022.
Okay.
They covered the spread in the first 2 games, including getting the win last week. Jared Goff looked like he was the Jared Goff of old when he took the Rams to the Super Bowl a few years ago.
Yep.
Give me the Detroit Lions against NFC North foe Minnesota Vikings. The Lions are plus 6 on the road in this game. I'm taking the Lions. I love what Dan Campbell's doing there in Detroit. They're building a heck of a team. Aiden Hutchinson looks every bit the number 2 overall pick. Sprinkle in some money on the money line, too. They're plus 205 on the money line.
I like it.
Listen to Richie, boy. Listen to Richie.
When's the last time the Detroit Lions, who are a dog, it seems like every week, that somebody go with the dog. But you're right. Jared Goff playing good. They won it last week. Hutchinson doing very, very well. And if Kirk Cousins continues to struggle
he did.
like he did last week, Richie, you might be right on that money line.
All right, so quickly recapping. Manuch has the Packers as his dog against the Bucks. I have the Dolphins against the Buffalo Bills as my dog. And Jax has taken Stanford as his dog against Washington in college football. Richie comes up big time, even makes a play on the money line just to show his prowess as a handicapper. And he has Detroit plus 6 playing the Vikings. Gotta like that.
Yeah, you look at that, and I'm 0-2. Jimmy, you're 0-2.
I am. I suck.
Jax, what do you 1-1?
0-2.
You're 0-2. Rock's the 2-0 guy. And look at Richie. I mean, can you imagine that the Detroit Lions are somewhat viable this year? And you know what? They could have won that first game of the year, too, if not for last-second comeback. So those are some of the things you look at as far as that dog is concerned.
All right, let's get now to the results of our State 48 roofing. It's your call question, Manuch, and this is all about the Arizona Cardinals getting ready and getting set to host the Rams on Sunday.
Yeah, that is. You can still go online or go to Twitter at Roc and Manuch. And for our State 48 roofing, it's your call question today. What Cardinals player will have the biggest impact for the defense against the Rams? What Cardinals player will have the biggest impact for the defense against the Rams? Not what player must, it's what player will. So if you go to it, the choices were Buda Baker, Jalen Thompson, J.J. Watt, or Isaiah Simmons.
Wow.
So far, the leader in the clubhouse. You can still go online and vote or go to Twitter and vote. Buda Baker, 50%, and J.J. Watt at 50%. Safety, Jalen Thompson, 0%, and Isaiah Simmons, 0%. So just go to at Roc and Manuch, and that is our State 48 roofing. It's your call question of the day.
You know, nobody does happy hour quite like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, they have everything from tequila cocktails and extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls, local craft beers, handcrafted whiskey cocktails. They round out an adventurous drink menu It's second to none. It's all here at Twin Peaks. And don't forget about our 29-degree Blue Moon and Coors Light man-sized drafts on special on Thursday. And why is that? Because there's football tonight. It's the Browns and the Steelers. It's on Amazon. And so you need to be here at Twin Peaks to watch that football game. So after the Cardinals' comeback win over the Raiders, what's been the emphasis for this team heading into playing the Rams at home on Sunday? Oh, we're going to enlighten you with the help of Cardinals beat writer from PHNX, Howard Balzer. He's going to bring us up to date on everything. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
AC Doctors at 602-767-7435 or visit theacdoctors.com.
If you or a loved one lived or worked at Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Toxic water contamination has led to death, disability, and disease. Don't suffer silently. Get legal help. Call Goldberg and Osborne. 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
DraftKings Sportsbook is an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app today.
I got his voicemail.
Sports for a special offer when you sign up. That's code
Try one more time. If not, I'll have him
at
call you.
DraftKings Sportsbook.
You're live.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We're rolling till the top of the hour here at Twin Peaks. Everybody's starting to tune up a little bit to get ready for the big game tonight. It is the Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. I'm looking forward to it. It's a great rivalry. It has been for, I don't know how many years, 30, 40 years they've been playing against each other. Fan bases don't like each other. The players don't like each other. So this is going to be highly entertaining tonight, and I can't wait for that. Coming up a little bit, Howard Balzer will join us. He, of course, from PHNX, he is the Cardinal beat writer when we'll talk to him, and he's available right now. So all you got to do is just go to gophnx.com. Howard, it's Jimmy B and Manuch. How are you, pal?
Doing well, guys. How you doing?
It's a good day. We're hanging at Twin Peaks here tonight, so we're going to view the Browns and the Steelers this evening. But let's start right now with the Cardinals. Howard, can you bring us up to date on guys who practiced and guys who didn't practice? Because it seems to me that not practicing list continues to grow.
Well, actually, today was most everybody was practicing. They're actually, right now, the way I see it, they're as healthy as they've been in a while. Now,
Okay.
There were six guys that didn't practice yesterday because of rest days, and that happens a lot of times with veterans. I mean, Kelvin Beachum, Rodney Hudson, those are guys that usually get rest days. But there was more yesterday because they were on the field for so many snaps on Sunday, and it was all offensive guys. They were on the field for 87 offensive snaps.
Wow.
In that game against the Raiders. So you had Beachum, you had Justin Pugh, you had Hudson, you had Zach Ertz, you had Marquise Brown, and gosh, there's another offensive player that's escaping my mind. Did I mention Zach Ertz? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
anyway,
you mentioned Rondale Moore, who's nursing the hammy there as well, too.
Yeah, Rondale Moore is one of the injured guys who didn't practice. Yesterday James Conner didn't practice, but he was out there today, and he was doing stuff only in the stuff that we were able to see. So we don't know if he's going to be listed as limited or did not practice. I would guess when the report comes out, he's going to be limited. So there's not that many injuries right now keeping guys out that are on the roster. Ezekiel Turner, good backup linebacker, special teams player, he didn't practice yesterday. But like I said, and J.J. Watt was limited yesterday. We know pretty much he's going to play. He was out there this morning. So I think it's one of those things where, it's like I said, it was just so many guys, were given the day off yesterday, but all of those guys were there today.
I'm at H. Balzer 721, your Twitter site. I don't see anything in particular about Isaiah Simmons. What's the story? What's the scoop on one Isaiah Simmons right now, Howard?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, Vance Joseph tries to dance around it a little bit, saying it's all about packages and, how you match up with another team. But, Cliff Kingsbury came out and said after the game, and then he reiterated it on Monday, that they just didn't think he just wasn't out. He just didn't have a good game in week one, and they told him he has to practice better and work harder and earn it back. And so they said he had a great week of practice, still only played 15 snaps in that game, but made one of the biggest plays in the game when he forced that fumble. So we'll see this week if he ends up being out there more. And one of the things is the way it's gotten complicated is because of all the the injuries they've had in the secondary, and because of Simmons' role, it's how does he match up? And which plays is he going to be a linebacker?
Sure.
Which plays is he going to be a nickelback? Which plays is he going to be a dime back? And they use him in all those ways, and a lot of it depends on how many plays they have in those particular situations. So it'll be interesting to see against the Rams on Sunday how many more snaps he gets than only the 15 that he had against the Raiders.
Yeah, and it's interesting, Howard, because you watch Nick Vigil and Vallejo, both I thought played very, very well in order to take that position. And then, again, when you look at him overall, and Zaven Collins, I thought, did a decent job. So I think Vance Joseph is like, well, these other guys are playing well, they're solid, they're consistent. And to your point, just a matter, where do we plug in Isaiah Simmons, our first-round draft pick from 3 years ago?
No, exactly. But you would like him to be out there.
Yes.
Because he's a guy that when he's out there can make plays. As we've seen. I mean, that fourth fumble on the Byron Murphy return, Vance Joseph said earlier today, he says, there's nobody else on our team that could have made that play. He came from 35 yards away to make that play. And so I think they like to get him out there more. They want to be able to trust him, that he's going to do the right thing. And when Kingsbury said, it's all about, every day in practice, going hard on every play. And, this defense is one where Vance Joseph's not going to put guys out there unless he totally believes that they know what they're doing. And I think that was one of the issues with him in terms of being consistent and treating practice like it's a game. And I think, as they said, he's getting the message. And so, like I said, it'll be interesting to see what he does, how often he plays on Sundays. David Collins, I think, played every snap.
He did.
Defense.
Yep.
And he's got that mic in his helmet now, and he's the one making the calls and all that. And they're very happy with his progress. But, when someone asked him about Simmons and Collins, he said, well, the difference is Collins is just basically a pure inside linebacker. Simmons has all these other things. And so we have to, and you mentioned Vigil, you mentioned Tanner Vallejo. They're inside linebackers.
Yeah.
That's what they basically do. And so I think that there might have been some concern with Isaiah if they had to use him as a nickel or use him somewhere else, how he's going to match up. I mean, there was a couple plays where they had him matched up on a wide receiver against the Chiefs, and it wasn't pretty. So, but they've played very good offenses these first 2 weeks, and now they've got another good one, obviously, on Sunday.
No question about that. Has Dortch become the go-to guy all of a sudden for Kyler Murray? And also, Andy Isabella apparently is healthy, and he will get time as well this Sunday.
Yeah, it looks like he will. He is back, after missing last week, and he's been in practice these 2 days. So, yeah, you would expect him to be active. And, Dortch is a guy that whenever he's out in the field, he makes plays. And so he's essentially right now in the role that Rondale Moore would have if Moore was healthy. And so, but I don't know how much they truly missed with having George out there. And the one thing with Rondale Moore is that he had injury issues in college. He had injury issues at the end of the last season. And now he's missed 2 games with an injury again. So you start to wonder about how reliable is he going to be in terms of staying healthy so you can get him on the field.
And most coaches, I got to tell you, Howard, they're a little superstitious about that. Hey, we're doing pretty good. Not that you can't use Rondale Moore. You don't want him in the lineup somewhere. But, I mean, if you got a consistency and a trust in a guy that's really coming on, and Greg Dortch, it's going to be interesting to see how he plays that out when Moore's healthy and when he's completely healthy.
No, exactly right. And I would think there could be times when Moore does come back that he and George could be on the field at the same time. And it gives defense, it's a little bit different.
3 minutes.
Obviously, Murray went to Marquise Brown a few more times on Sunday that they did in the opener, and they're developing, their relationship. Of course, in a couple weeks after the 4th game, it looks like they'll be able to get Antoine Wesley back. So it's going to be interesting when these guys who are healthy come back, how they're going to play them all.
A lot of great weapons. Okay, so riddle me this, Batman. So what is it with Trey McBride? I mean, what the hell over?
Where is it?
Your first pick of the draft, the 2022 draft. He's not even on the field. What's going on here?
Well, we got a few more snaps on Sunday. So that looked a little promising. And then all of a sudden, he wasn't out there this morning at practice. He was there yesterday, but he wasn't out there this morning. And again, we don't have the injury report yet. And Cliff Kingsbury doesn't talk after Thursday's practice, so we weren't able to ask him why isn't he there. So we'll see how he shows up on the injury report. I don't know if it's a recurrence. He did have a little bit of a back problem during training camp.
Yeah.
So he missed some time there, and that hurt his progress some. And it looked like he was making some progress after not playing very much in the first week. He played more last week, and now apparently he has some kind of injury again, whether it's something new or the same thing. We don't know yet. But yeah, I think that's it's like anybody. The most important ability for any NFL or any sport really, but certainly in football, the most important ability is availability. And if you're hurt and you can't
2 minutes,
you can't do these things, it's obviously going to impact what you do in terms of getting on the field. And when Kingsbury's been asked about him playing more, he says he's coming along. But
It's funny. I tweeted the other day what Kingsbury said about Trayvon Mullen, and you'll get a kick out of this, Manuch. And when he said he's getting close physically, but mentally, we still he still has to get comfortable with the defense, with the calls, and all those things. So I just put that basic quote on Twitter, and someone responded, "Hey, the only way you get better and you get into the game mentally is if you play."
Yeah.
I said, hello, no coach is going to put a guy out in the field that he's worried about when they make the defensive call, because he's not going to know what he's supposed to do. And then you can't play fast if you're thinking about, okay, on this play, this is what I have to do. And while you're thinking that, they just snap the ball, and you just can't play fast.
Well,
so coaches aren't going to put guys out there who don't know what.
1 minute.
Well, Howard, I don't think people realize, Joe Q Public realizes how mental the game is. It's really 85-90% mental, and the rest is physical. And if you don't know how to line up, where to line up, and we've seen that many times with this Cardinals offense and defense, you better know what's going on, or people go right by you.
Well, here's the thing, too. One of the stories I'm going to write in the next day or two is that David Collins made a comment yesterday when we were talking to him. He was talking about, coming back from a mistake. Even if you know it, sometimes you're going to make a mistake. And he said, I had 2 mistakes on Sunday, on Sunday, and he says, and I was a yard off. That's what he said, a yard off. Mm-hmm. That's how detailed it is. And then I asked him about that detail. And he said, yes, that's what it's all about. I asked Joseph about that today. He said, that's the key, is each individual guy doing their job and doing it correctly, whatever the call is. And if one guy it's always funny when a defense doesn't play well. Oh, the whole defense sucks, right? That's what everybody says. Well, a lot of times it might be one guy on a certain play that wasn't where he was supposed to be, and all of a sudden the big play happens from that. A big third down conversion or whatever it might be. But that's like you said, Manuch, the mental aspect of it. Those details. It's incredible how detailed it is. And like I said, when Collins said, I was a yard off, someone saying, oh, what, a yard? That's a big difference? Well, yeah, a yard can make the difference between making a play and giving up a big play.
There you go. It's always great, pal, when you take time with us. Thank you. Enjoy the game this weekend.
Will do, guys. Take care.
See ya. That's Howard Balzer, Cardinals NFL writer for GoPHNX.com. Just GoPHNX.com. All right, when we come back, last call. That's right. It's our one call. Oh, it's all sponsored by Lerner and Rowe. It's Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Clear.
This is the That's all. Call of the day.
It was
If you're
Vance
looking
Joseph,
for a full-service
right?
law firm,
Correct.
just make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Lerner and Rowe, voted Arizona's best law firm.
No, it was strictly game plan. Again, my biggest challenge is to get the right people out there versus the right people. And that's going to be our challenge each week. But he played his butt off. He had a great week of practice after the Chiefs game. He received attention in practice. He had great meetings, and he played his butt off. Outside of the 2 plays he made at the end, he played really well in that game.
And that is defensive coordinator Vance Joseph with the Cardinals. That is our Lerner and Rowe one call. In a wreck, need a check, make one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. And always at lernerandrowe.com. They can help you. So get a free consultation. Once again, one call. That's all. 602-977-1900. Now, Manuch, let's see what's on tap.
What's on tap? Powered by 72 Soul. A look at the top sports action tonight on TV. Get our price, a higher price at 72soul.com.
Well, it's looking ahead on your home with the NFL and college football here on Fox Sports 910 on Saturday. NCAA football, USC at Oregon State. That's going to be at 6 o'clock. NFL-wise, the Chiefs at the Colts. That'll be at 9:30 in the morning. Boy, that's one of those games. You wonder if the Colts can bounce back. And then you got the Cowboys at the Giants. That's going to be on at 4:45 p.m. That's going to be on Monday. So that's what's on tap, which is powered every day on Roc and Manuch, Jimmy B, by America's leading home selling program, 72 Sold. How can you not know by now that 72 Sold is the easiest way to sell your home for top dollar? So for the easiest, fastest, most profitably way to sell your home, head to 72sold.com. At 72sold.com to get a higher price for your home. Go to 72sold.com.
All right, AZTV Channel 7. It's your new home for college football here in the state of Arizona, featuring schools that have produced some of the best games and athletes. Great football, high-energy halftime bands, and coverage you won't find on any other station. Check out AZTV Channel 7. Speaking of which, Mr. Manucci happens to be a guest appearance on the show this morning. Man, oh man.
I'm a regular, Jimmy. Come on.
I know. You are. You need all the makeup you can get. Man. And it worked.
Yeah,
I was like shocked. It worked.
That's right. Every Thursday between 9 and 10.
Yeah.
You can tune in and see myself and Brad Perry talking about all things sports you can imagine. The whole Robert Sarver scenario, selling the team, the Arizona Cardinals coming back, Kyler Murray, the scoop. I call it the Scoop 6, but there was a Scoop and Score. They have them with Byron Murphy Jr. The Suns getting ready for opening of training camp. This Monday is media day at 9 o'clock. We talked about Sean Iguanu going to make his interim coach debut against Utah over at Sun Devil Stadium, Frank Cush Field.
Yep.
Talking about U of A going to Cal. There is just a plethora of things going on. Oh, by the way, you have the Coyotes opening up training camp as well.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a lot going on. So every Thursday between 9 and 10 on the Daily Mix right there on AZTV Channel 7, you can watch myself and Brad Perry chopping it up of all places in reference to what's going on sports-wise in the Valley of the Sun. So I was in studio, as you noticed, and you're right, had the makeup going.
You did.
When I had the Zoom call, don't we have to get the makeup going? Got to make sure that the hair's combed.
Do you sit with a shirt on and then your underwear under the shot?
I'm dressed, Jimmy. I'm dressed, ready to go, man.
Come on.
No, I got the Fox Sports 910 shirt on.
Yeah.
Got the shorts on. I'm game ready, Jimmy. I just don't show up.
You are styling and profiling, my brother.
It is. We have it going on at the Manucci household. That's for sure.
There you go. Hey, listen, we've been to Twin Peaks all day today. Folks are really starting to pour in here now, and the reason, Browns Steelers tonight. How do you see this playing out?
I took the Cleveland Browns only because it's at home. I think that they're a little more poised and polished. I know Davian Clowney is not going to be playing for the Cleveland Browns tonight, but Myles Garrett will be playing.
That's dangerous.
But I like the Brownies. I do tonight. I think they've played good football. I think that the Steelers are still trying to figure out their offense with Mitch Trubisky. Is it Mitch or Mitchell?
Whatever works for you.
The Trubisky kid, the kid from North Carolina. So I've got the Browns. I think the dog pound will have something to prove, but that's on Amazon Prime. But if you don't have it, get your butt down here to Twin Peaks or any of the Valley Twin Peaks and watch all that's going on in tonight's game.
All right, it's going to be a lot of fun. And remember, it's on Amazon Prime. Manuch has it. I don't. So you know where you're going to find me? At Twin Peaks, watching it because they have the game for you tonight. Hey, we've enjoyed it. Sarah was awesome with her.
She did a great job.
Today. She did a great job today.
She took on Bob from Phoenix. She might have kicked his butt, but, and Jax, what a fine job you did. You know what, Jax?
Yeah.
I hope you're not sore hurting because you did a great job doing a whole lot of nothing today. So I got to tell you what, man, you're going to sleep good tonight. Got to thank Jax for all our social media, Facebook, Twitter. He makes us look good, but I hope he didn't sprain a hammy or a toe or anything like that by just sitting here sucking all the coffee up and water and whatnot. Next thing you always want dinner, for crying out loud.
Hey, tomorrow we're going to be at Wright Toyota. You can come out and check out automobiles there and then say hi to us as well. It's always great when we have a time here at Twin Peaks. We enjoyed Glendale very much. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Roc and Manuch with Jimmy B, Fox Sports 910.
Good night.
Clear.